What's up, everyone? Good morning. Welcome back to the live stream. We've got a really compelling stock that we're going to talk about today. Sundial stock is pumping huge. That's why we're starting the stream about 10 minutes early. This is a stock that I'm super excited about. So let's take a look at the chart and see what we've got going on for it. So you can see Sundial up here in the top left. We may at some point switch to just watching Sundial today because this one's super exciting. Everybody who's holding it is up pretty big at this point, right? We soared about now more than 20%. We were up about 20% in after hours yesterday, but let's see what we're up now from yesterday's close. We're up about, let's see, 32% from close yesterday, and it's going to be much more if we actually look back from where we closed the day prior. So 2 days ago we closed, and we're up almost 40% from where we closed 2 days ago. So really cool stuff with Sundial. We have some awesome catalysts. We've already got some people coming into the stream. Welcome, guys. And why is Sundial so undervalued even at $1? Well, let's take a look at the earnings call. That was the Lookin' channel. That's what the Lookin' channel asked. So first of all, we'll look at Sundial's market cap right here of $1.4 billion, even at this price, right? At $1.4 billion market cap, what did their earnings do? So their earnings call came out yesterday. Super great news. I'm sure we'll cover this a couple of times as more people get in the stream, but the Lookin' channel says, should I wait to buy in at a lower price? It's tough to say, man. I mean, it's tough to say. We might not see a lower price. Maybe we will. Oftentimes, Sundial does get pushed down. You can see over the past, if we look at the past year, they have been getting pushed down pretty frequently, but we're about to open up around here. So I don't know if we'll see prices go that much lower. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll get bounced off of $1. And KTZ, good morning, KTZ. But what you can see actually just happened in the pre-market is we did get a little bounce off of $1 all the way down to 82 cents, which might have acted as a resistance for us. And we ended up moving back up. Now we're at 94. But let's look at the earnings call for Sundial. We'll look at this a couple of times, but they ended up having a great earnings call. And they're doing a share repurchase program, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. But you can see net earnings of $11.3 million for the third quarter. And this is in comparison to a $71.4 million loss in the third quarter of the year prior. So they also increased their revenues by 57% quarter over quarter. They got $14.4 million worth of revenue from their cannabis segment. And they have $1.1 billion worth of cash, marketable securities, and long-term investments as of September, and actually $1.2 billion as of November 9th. So they are in a very strong position, it looks like. So Kennedy Iwuzi says, what do you think about Workhorse? What do you think about Workhorse? Well, we'll take a peek at Workhorse while we're waiting for some people to get in. Some of the Sundial fans will take a peek at Workhorse. I do hold some Workhorse. Unfortunately, I bought in when it was around $14 off of this dip, actually, right? When I saw it dip pretty low, I saw Kathy Wood was buying some, and I got some around 14. Still holding it. I've been selling my Workhorse call options every now and then, though, collecting some premium on those. So definitely still down on money on it, but still I got some Workhorse. So that's for Workhorse. But we're talking about Sundial mostly today, right? Very exciting stuff going on with Sundial stock. So Soto says, good morning, Rom. QS went to the moon yesterday. Lucid same. Well, let's take a peek at those. Good morning also. QS, yeah, looks like we spiked up pretty big yesterday. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So QuantumScape did very well. Let's see. Was there a catalyst that came out yesterday? Okay. Possibly in sympathy with the momentum and volatility in Rivian. All right. That's interesting. And then Lucid. I think I saw Lucid did pretty well, but let's take a peek. Yeah, Lucid was doing good too. Lucid was doing pretty good. We'll see if we can't make new highs. You know, we're not that far off. We're just a couple bucks away from making new highs. Looks like we're down a little bit in pre-market, though. Unfortunately, pre-market and after hours, we dipped a little bit over the course of non-trading hours. So let's see. Sundial is really soaring, though. Joseph Agnello, thank you for the first. Let me actually take a picture of this. This is pretty cool. I just looked at my YouTube studio thing yesterday and realized I could enable super chats. Let me take a picture of this. The first super chat the channel has ever gotten. Thank you very much, Joseph. Very cool. Thank you very much for the first super chat ever. I was surprised. I actually just looked over before it showed up in chat and saw chat revenue is $2. And I was like, what the heck? Never seen that before, so really cool. Let me actually take a picture of the whole screen. This is cool stuff. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. You've been a long-time supporter of the channel. As long as we've been doing these live streams, you've been around. So there we go. These are cool pictures. Nice. Very appreciative of that. Life Droid, hey man, care to share BGFV or Tex? Thanks. For sure, we can share BGFV or Tex. Big 5. We've been looking at that one lately. That one looks promising. Not Barnes & Noble, BGFV. How did that happen? All right, so Big 5. Let's see the Ortex data on it. About to pull that up right here. So 32% short interest as a percentage of the free float. The short interest change is still lagging. Yesterday was Veterans Day, so exchanges weren't reporting, and they didn't have any live updates for yesterday, but I'm sure they'll get back on their feet and start updating it live pretty soon, probably. Hopefully today, right? We're going to want to use it to look at Sundial stock pretty soon. But 97.29% utilization, so pretty high. Not many more shorts can enter this one. And 2.67 days to cover it. That could be good for them if they do start needing to cover. And NJ says previously, let's go. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that, NJ. The second super chat ever. We'll take a picture of this too. This is cool. They're rolling in. Very cool. So let's go, Brandon, I believe. I think I realize what that name is referring to now. I think I now understand it. So at first I thought it was just someone named Lesko Brandon, but now I think I understand it might be a little bit more than that. So Life Droid, thanks, man. Always appreciate your help. For sure. And we've already got quite a few viewers coming in, even though we normally don't start the stream for another 3 minutes. We've already got a lot of likely Sundial viewers coming in. So Tyler Mike told you Sundial weeks ago. For sure, I've been in Sundial. We'll take a look actually at the Sundial long term, and we'll look at my entrances into Sundial. You can't actually see them. It's been that long. So I bought into Sundial initially around, where was it? Probably around sometime here when it was around 19 cents per share. I remember is when I bought Sundial way back when. And I saw it move down in town and get all the way down to 13 cents. And I thought, oh man, I got ripped off on this stock. I actually bought quite a bit. I bought 10,000 shares at 19 cents, and that was only $1,900 at the time. But then it quickly, after the elections, moved up big to 57 cents. I held. It then continued to pump to 93 cents. I held. And let's find a better view of this. And then it pumped all the way up to $4, and I held, but I was selling call options on it. So I was collecting premium that whole time, and it continued pumping for a bit, but then it started sinking, and since then, I've been holding it, selling call options periodically. Fortunately, I haven't sold any call options right now, right? So fortunately, if we continue moving up, if we get pretty high, if we get up above $1, I'd probably consider selling a couple of call options. Not too many, though. I'd still like to have most of my shares free because I think that this could continue to soar, especially now that we have a legalization bill being talked about. A legalization bill recommended by Republicans, right? Normally it's Democrats bringing up legalization, but Republicans actually proposed this legalization bill. So let me actually see if I can find the bill. I don't think it's been finalized yet, but let's see if we can't find it. Here we go. So, Republican-led bill to legalize and tax marijuana emerges as alternative to Democratic measures. Now, this came out a while ago. We actually made a video about it on the channel. It came out November 5th, so about a week ago. And a new Republican-led congressional marijuana legalization bill is imminent, Marijuana Moment has learned. Measure being framed, that's not too important. So, obtained text of the draft being, this bill is being led by Nancy Mace, Republican from South Carolina. And let's see, what are the highlights? Normally I go through and highlight these before I make the video. So KTZ got a $2 super chat from KTZ. This is cool. Missed the Sundial memo, says KTZ. Let me take a picture. I'm taking pictures of all these super chats. These are super cool. Great to see, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. And the Sundial memo, unfortunately, I've made a couple of videos, but I haven't talked about it as much in the live streams as I probably should have. And, part of that is just because if you look at the yearly chart, it has just been sinking down for a while. And nobody wants to buy a falling knife. Ever since it peaked around $4, it's just been sinking for the most part. We've gotten small rallies here and there. And who knows, maybe this will just be another small rally. on the road to a much bigger one when we actually get legalization. But nobody wants to buy into a falling stock. Now though, you can see when a stock does end up getting a big catalyst, it can end up pumping. I mean, it's up 30% from where it closed yesterday. So, and the Lookin' channel, if Republicans support it now, it's almost bound to happen. And Ambition 2020 says, good morning, Merry Christmas, Sundial. Yeah, for real. Sundial's doing great. And that's exactly how I feel about it. If Republicans are supporting the bill at this point, if they're actually putting this bill forward, I mean, I don't see how Democrats could vote no on it, right? If they want legalization to occur, I don't see why they would vote no on this. So, rundown of what the bill would actually do is cannabis would be federally descheduled and treated in a manner similar to alcohol. So good stuff. No problem with that. 3.7% excise tax would be imposed on cannabis sales. And the revenue would support things like law enforcement, the SBA to aid newly licensed businesses, and programs for community reentry, which I believe is tied to another point here, which we'll skip to right now, where I believe, let's see how far down we have to go. Let's see. It's based. I don't know if I can find it right here, but some people who have been imprisoned due to cannabis related crimes, right? As long as they weren't violent, would be able to get out potentially, right? They'd be up for parole, I believe. Let's see if we can't find that, because that was very interesting, very good stuff, right? You don't want to see people in jail for something that's now legal. And the Lookin' channel, I wish weed would be limited to at least 19 years old because it's so much less damaging than alcohol, yet is getting treated the same. Yeah. So in this bill, to prevent youth use, there would be a mandatory age of 21. So that isn't the best, but not the worst either. A lot of people like that idea. A lot of people don't. So, and Prabesh Ramdan says, how will it run up today? Well, we'll see. I mean, if we can get past $1, then sky's the limit, right? We bounced off of $1 very early in the pre-market. Unfortunately, we'll see if we can't get higher. They're doing an earnings call at 10:30 Eastern time, my time. So at 10:30, we'll probably tune into that. We might listen to it. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's possible we'll get bounced off of $1. We've had it happen to us before. Shorts have not been afraid to push us down in the past. But if I pull up the short data right here, I'm going to show you guys what the short data on Ortex looks like for Sundial. And you can see that there are already quite a few shorts in this thing. And the utilization is relatively high, right? So 15% of the free float is shorted. It looks like that may be down quite a bit from yesterday. Maybe some shorts have started to cover. We'll see. However, that accounts for about 300 million shares, and 98.27% of the free float is shorted. 98.27% of the available shares to short are shorted already. So it looks promising, right? It doesn't look like shorts are going to be able to push us down that much. And Joseph Agnolo says, let's go, guys. Smash that like button. Yes, let's actually, we've got 111 viewers in the stream. Let's see if we can't get, 50 likes on the video. We only need 22 more likes to get to 50 likes. That would happen if even just half the people like the stream. Maybe we could do it. Maybe we could get Sundial over $1 if it happens. If we can get 50 likes on the video, we'll see. No promises that we can do it, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited for Sundial today. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen at the open. It could go one of two ways, or one of three ways, really. We could get a big green bar, get over $1. Of course, we could get a big red bar, or it could just be kind of volatile and stagnant. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping for the green bar, but if the past is any indication, unfortunately, it seems like we might get a little bit of a red bar. Well, I mean, the past, we haven't had great earnings calls like this in the past, so we'll see what happens. I'm very hopeful for a green bar, but I don't want to get my hopes up too high, right? I'm very excited about Sundial. Definitely not selling my Sundial stock. Still in on it, pretty big. So Sundial is going to lead the industry. Their business structure is very similar to IIPR's share price over 250. This is Tyler Mike. And good morning all, says Hassan. Prabesh Ramdan, that's Thursday data. They haven't updated today. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, so Thursday was Veterans Day, and they weren't updating the live data. Unfortunately, because exchanges weren't reporting. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens if they all of a sudden, when it hits 9:30, they update to Friday's data. I don't know what Ortex is going to do. I've not had Ortex long enough I've not had Ortex long enough to know what they do when exchanges aren't reporting. I haven't actually been looking at it on one of the days that the markets are closed. So we did get to 50 likes, guys. Thank you very much for that. And TY says, so what's your couple month out price prediction? Luce said 20 to 40 if a short squeeze. That's pretty pricey. That's pretty steep on Sundial, 20 to 40. And the reason I say that is because at these prices, the market cap is $1.4 billion right now. So it already has a fairly large market cap. 20 to 40 bucks would make this like a $40 billion market cap. So that would be tough. That would be tough. I'm not so sure if we could get to 20 or 40. I could see us getting, on this pump, if we get a real short squeeze, we could get up pretty high. I'm not going to lie. We could get up pretty high. I don't know if we'll break the highs that we saw previously because this was on massive hype, right? This was around the GameStop pump, and when we were thinking we might get legalization, Democrats had just gotten elected to all three branches of government, so people thought they might legalize it, but they ended up not doing that. Now it looks like Republicans are leading the charge to legalize cannabis. Let me pull up that article right here. Republican-led bill to legalize and tax marijuana emerges as alternative to Democratic measure. This came out 7 days ago, right? So we talked about this, and it actually did cause a little bit of a spike in Sundial price. But what Sundial is pumping on today are a couple of things. First off, they're talking about their earnings, right? Their earnings were really good. They ended up having big revenues, much bigger revenues than the previous quarter, a 57% increase quarter over quarter. They had $14.4 million of revenue from their cannabis segment, and their earnings were $11.3 million. As opposed to a year ago, they lost $71 million. So massive turnaround for Sundial. Now, the other catalyst that led to them rising quite a bit, and this is something that I'm very excited about, is their share repurchase program. So in the past, if you look at Sundial stock, if you look at it over the real long term, over the past couple of years, let's look at it even over the past 3 years, you can see they have been moving down massively, especially early on. And this is because they were doing a lot of dilution. They were essentially selling shares to stay afloat and diluting the shareholder. Now they are no longer doing that. It looks like they're actually starting to buy shares back up, which is really good for the stock. They have a ton of cash on hand, so they may as well. They obviously think that they're going to be doing well in the future. They've been investing in a lot of other cannabis companies, in liquor retailers. So I think they'll be doing pretty well looking forward. But they are starting to repurchase shares, which is very exciting because a lot of people have been shorting them and thinking that they would move down because they have been doing dilution in the past. And it's a pretty safe bet that if a stock is diluting constantly, then they're going to probably move down in price over the long term just because they keep inflating their market cap. So the fact that Sundial is now buying back, it looks like $100 million worth of its outstanding common shares. And I think there's another stipulation. They can only buy back a maximum of 102 million shares under the program. So that represents about 5% of their outstanding shares currently. So they could reduce their market cap by about 5% if they ended up buying back all of those shares. And I expect that they will over time, right? They have some time with this. They don't have to do it at any specific point, but on any dips that they see Sundial going on, they actually have the option to buy back some shares. So that's very encouraging. And people might be less likely to short them. They might be less likely to sell the stock now that they know they're not diluting anymore. So Hassan says, if this miraculously hits $5, I will be at least 90% out. Yeah, no, if this ends up hitting $5, I'd probably sell a bit as well, right? Anyone holding this would be very in the green if it hit $5. It hasn't been to $5 in years. Even during this pump, I think the highest it got was 4 something. It says 396 on the chart, but it was actually higher than that at one point. It got up to 420. I know that was a big rallying call to see if we could get Sundial to $4.20. And once it did, that's when it started tanking, unfortunately. So we'll see. And you can actually see that other cannabis companies are moving up in sympathy with Sundial. So let me change some of the description in this video real quick, just to make account of that, right? Just to let people know that we are talking about Tilray, CGC, because I do own all of those stocks, all the cannabis stocks, because you never know which one is going to pump up big, right? There's always a chance that it could be, it didn't have to be Sundial. Tilray could have been the one that had amazing earnings and got pumped up huge. So what's the other one? OGI stock. All right, there we go. We'll save that. Nice. Okay, so Zach Taylor says, I'll stay out of Sundial, so it should go up for you guys. I appreciate that, Zach. That sometimes just seems to be the way it is, right? When you buy in, it starts just tanking instantly. And obviously, this does have the potential to start tanking when the market opens, right? Because a lot of people are in on this thing at much lower prices. If you look back over the past, we'll look at the past 90 days, a lot of people are in on this thing. And this is their first time being up on money, right? It's just been sinking for the most part. You know, people might have been buying in at 80 cents, 70 cents, 60 cents. And now people are actually up on money. They're up a big percentage of their portfolio, right? Potentially, if they had a lot of money in Sundial, they could be up quite a bit. And they might be looking to take some profits at market open. We'll see what happens, though. I mean, obviously, this is a good thing for the company, right? The fact that their earnings were so good, the fact that they're doing share repurchase programs, that's really good for them over the long term. So when they do CURLF will be a better investment for cannabis. That's fact, says Joseph Agnello. Curaleaf, yeah, I've heard of Curaleaf. I don't think I've directly invested in them, but I think MSOS might have some holdings with them. So I have invested in MSOS, and this is just an ETF that tracks a lot of U.S. Cannabis companies. So I've invested in that, and I believe Curaleaf is one of them. So I do have indirect exposure to Curaleaf. And I think that once it's legal, a lot of these cannabis companies like Curaleaf will probably be doing really well. The Canadian ones, the American ones, all of them. So Miguel Larios, 433 contracts at 4 cents. I bet those are gonna pop. Those are gonna pop. As soon as we see market open, as soon as those options start trading, those are gonna be up huge. So Troy Austin, I'm in Sundial and HITI High Tide 2 have several cannabis stocks. Nice. And Miguel, I also bought Tilray, he says. Nice. Yeah, I'm in Tilray. Tilray's up big. Tilray's doing pretty well. We're up, let's see, what are we up percentage-wise on the day? So we're up about 7% in after hours and pre-market. Good stuff for Tilray. Nothing to complain about there. Not as much as, the 30% gain that we're seeing in Sundial, but that's going to be tough to beat, right? It was Sundial's earnings call that ended up making this pump. And Shiny Man, good morning, Rob. I was in Sundial since 0.5, since 50 cents. How high do you think this will go today? It's tough to say. It really depends on if we can break past $1. You can already see on the chart that we saw some resistance at $1, right? At 99.96 cents, we already got bounced off. So we'll see. If we can break $1, this could go much higher. It's impossible to pick the exact price that it'll go to. We're already up 30%, and while the news is really great, we'll just have to see, right? If you look at the call options, we've certainly got quite a few open interest call options. We could certainly, now that we're much closer to $1, start to see some gamma squeeze fears, especially I will point out, these November 12th call options for $1. There are 106,000 of them, and they expire today. So if we're ending over $1, then all the institutions that have sold those call options, likely naked back when we were down at around 70 cents, they could certainly, maybe they've already bought up a lot of shares in the pre-market. Maybe this is what they're doing. This is them buying shares just in case they end up having to cover. They might be doing it prematurely, but we could certainly be pumping up quite a bit off of a gamma squeeze because those options are expiring today. Today is the 12th, and 106,000 call options are expiring at the $1 strike price. So if you look, these call options, the institutions were collecting, if they sold them yesterday, a premium of between 1 and 2 cents. And I can only imagine how much those are going to be worth in just a couple of minutes when we actually open. In about 16 minutes when market opens, the call options on Sundial stock are going to explode in price. It's going to be pretty crazy. If we can get up above $1, I might consider selling, but I will show you guys my Sundial holdings right here. So I had 2 Sundial entrances. One was back a little bit over a year ago. I bought in at 19 cents. So I bought in 19 cents around here, and it dropped to 13, and I've been in for the ride ever since. And then after it pumped up massively, I think it was around $1.20 or $1.30, something like that, I sold some $1 put options for about a 50-cent premium. And those actually expired in the money, right? So Sundial dropped below $1 at the time, and I ended up taking possession of those shares, of about 2,000 additional shares. However, since I collected a 50-cent premium, I only ended up paying essentially 50 cents per share for those Sundial shares, and we have not been down to 50 cents, so those have been profitable as well. However, it did end up skewing my cost average on Sundial upwards. Right now, my cost average looks like it's 50 cents instead of 19 cents, but so be it. Looks like it's 48 cents right now, but you can see Sundial stock. Let's switch to the correct cam right here. But Sundial stock right here, 93 cents on the Robinhood, and let's find it. Total return up 91%. Today's return up 30%. So 2.6 grand on the day, not bad for Sundial. So I'm still going to be holding this for quite a while. I'm excited about Sundial stock. I will be selling call options likely at some point, maybe not today. We'll see how high this can go. Sundial does have a history of pumping up day after day, right? On a lot of their big pumps, it has been over the course of many days in a row. So, we see actually a kind of similar pattern to what happened on their initial big pump up, right? We were down around, let's look, we were down around 57 cents at close, almost 60 cents, and then we opened up around 95, which is very close to where we're likely to open up today, and we ended up moving down to 81 cents on the day, but we continued this uptrend and actually hit highs of $4. So we'll see what happens. Maybe people have wisened up to that kind of a pattern. Maybe people will just be looking to buy and move us green. So Buck Thranar, they are going to short the heck out of this stock. He says, I can't swear on the channel. I can't swear on the channel, or I could, I guess, but YouTube might censor it. So the short interest is actually interesting, right? The short interest on Sundial stock, currently we have a 15% short interest as a percentage of the free float, and 311 million shares are short. However, the utilization is 98.27. So of the available shares to short, 98.27% have been shorted already. So they really can't, at least what Ortex is leading us to believe, they really can't legally short more shares. Maybe they could do something fishy, naked short shares. Maybe they could. I hope they don't, right? That would be potentially really dangerous for them if they did end up doing that and Sundial rose despite that. This is great news, by the way. I mean, Sundial is likely to rise, in my opinion, over the coming days. We have the earnings call at 10:30 too. So I think they'll probably be doing pretty good, but Hassan says Tilray has my favorite brands. Yep, I've not actually experienced Tilray's brands. They don't have dispensaries where I am here, but Emily Radger says good morning, and Ambition 2020 says, Rob, yes, 190 viewers, subscribe and like all. Rob's a winner. I appreciate that, Ambition. We are at 80 likes, and we actually have almost 200 viewers, 198 viewers on the stream. So if everybody went down and hit the like button, then we could actually probably get about 200 likes on the video. We'll see, though. Maybe we can just get over 100 on this pump. Maybe we can pump the likes up to over 100 likes, just like we're trying to pump up Sundial to $1. We'll see if we can do it. Maybe we can get up there, hopefully, over the next couple of minutes, right? Opening bell could be huge for Sundial. If we get up to $1, that might foam a lot of people in, which could be good, could be bad. We're up to 97 likes. Let's see if we can't just get 3 more, get up to 100. We're very close. We're very close at this point. 99 likes. I'm watching it live. Let's see the update. Let's see it hit 101. Nice, guys. Thank you very much. It does help get the stream out to more people, so I appreciate it. The more likes we get, the more this stream gets recommended, and the more comments we get going, which is always appreciated. So let's see. We've got Sundial here, Tilray, Curaleaf, and MSOS. We might take a peek at Hexo just to see what Hexo's doing. A lot of the cannabis stocks are moving up on this news. CGC might be moving up. Let's see what they're up to. Yeah, they're up as well. So a lot of these cannabis stocks are just moving up in sympathy with Sundial, right? And Shinyman just said, yeah, I just added the like button. I appreciate it. Up to 120 likes. This is more than we were hoping for. So now that some more people are in the stream, let me discuss some of the news that came out for Sundial, just for those of you who just have arrived recently. So there are a couple of catalysts that Sundial has going for it. First is the earnings call. This is the most obvious one. This is what came out yesterday, where they actually had a big earnings beat, right? They had net earnings of $11.3 million for the third quarter, and when you compare this to what they were doing a year ago, they lost $71.4 million the third quarter of last year. So massive increase in earnings year over year. They actually are profitable now instead of losing money, so really impressive stuff. And just over the past quarter alone, they've made $14.4 million from their cannabis segment, and this is an increase of 57% quarter over quarter. So huge increases in their cannabis segment. And Phase Trade says, new here today, looking good so far. I appreciate it. And the really impressive part about this earnings call is that they have $1.2 billion of cash and marketable securities and long-term investments as of November 9th. So a ton of cash on their balance sheet. And looking at their market cap, it's about 1.4 billion. I'm sure this will update in just a moment, but it's about 1.4 billion last updated. So pretty impressive for how much cash they have in comparison to what their market cap is. I think it's always been a little bit undervalued in that sense, right? I always think that they had slightly too low of a share price for what they were worth in terms of how much equity their company actually owned. And I think a lot of that was done by shorts. So, shorts, you can see if we pull up the shorts, another catalyst right here, right? We could see a short squeeze because shorts have shorted over 300 million shares of Sundial stock and have shorted it to the extreme, right? As many shares as they can short, they shorted. Now, pretty much, right? There's still a couple of shares left to short, according to Ortex, but the most compelling catalyst for a lot of people, likely for the institutions, right? This isn't what people are thinking will make Sundial squeeze, but this is a big catalyst that is potentially getting institutions out of Sundial short positions and maybe into Sundial long positions, is that they announced a share repurchase program. So they authorized the company to repurchase up to $100 million of its outstanding common shares. So they will be purchasing shares back at some point, and it can't surpass $100 million or 102.8 million shares. So that represents about 5% of their outstanding shares. So a lot of shares being repurchased, which is really great for Sundial because traditionally they have been a company that dilutes to stay afloat. Now that they're profitable, it looks like they're returning some of that value to the shareholder. It shows that they have a lot of goodwill towards their shareholders, and you can see in the past the reason they were falling for the most part was because of dilution. Right, they were diluting to stay afloat and to expand their business. All of that dilution has finally paid off. We might start to see them becoming very profitable in the future, and they're starting to buy back shares. So that's good. Institutions are happy about that. Another catalyst that we've got going on, for those of you who weren't here a couple moments ago when we were discussing it, is the Republican-led bill to legalize and tax marijuana. So this is really exciting, right? Because typically it's Democrats trying to legalize marijuana. This time Republicans are actually coming forth with their bill to try and legalize it. And it'll be interesting to see if Democrats can find a reason not to support this. Politicians like to argue with each other, so we'll see. This bill was proposed by Nancy Mace, a Republican from South Carolina. And I'll go over a couple of the things in the bill, right? So under it, cannabis would be federally descheduled and treated in a manner similar to alcohol. So good stuff, right? Basically, they're just saying they'll legalize it. A 3.75% excise tax would be imposed on cannabis sales, and revenue would support programs for community reentry, law enforcement, and small business administration aid for newly licensed businesses. Raw cannabis would be considered an agricultural commodity. The FDA would be limited in its regulatory authority, and I'm not sure if that applies to edibles as well or just smokable cannabis, but we'll have to see, right? This isn't the final wording of the bill. This bill is still being looked at. They still have to, as of the time of posting of this article, they're circulating the bill among stakeholders, so lobbyists really, for feedback. And, everyone's going to put in their 2 cents and see what they want in the bill. It's likely not going to improve the bill. It's probably going to make it a little bit worse just because when you start letting people who are paying the politicians start adding to bills, it's typically not a good thing. But we'll see. The final version is expected to be officially filed later this month, though. So good stuff all around. Very excited about the potential for this bill, right? The fact that it's a Republican-led bill is very encouraging. So maybe we'll see legalization, probably not by the end of the year, but potentially sometime in early 2022. So LifeDroid says, but those are Canadian dollars, no? So let's see, their earnings report? Let's see if this is Canadian dollars. So all financial information in this press release is reported in millions of Canadian dollars. Yes. So it is Canadian dollars. I'm not sure. Are Canadian dollars worth more than American dollars? I think they might be. USD to Canadian. Let's see which one's worth more. So $1 is 1. Oh, wow. So $1 is 1.26 Canadian dollars. So it's actually, the earnings call is even better than it looked, right? Earnings call is even better than it looked. So the earnings are higher in American dollars then. So that's impressive stuff. It looks like we're taking a little bit of a dip right before market open. We'll see if we can't recover from this. Hopefully we'll open up above 90 cents. I'm fairly confident that we can. The opening bell is going to be crazy, though. We're going to have to see. Right now, it's not the most encouraging that we've been on a little bit of a downtrend, slight downtrend. Maybe some big buying pressure will come in, though. Obviously, people are probably looking to take some profits. This thing is up pretty big. They have been doing very well over the past couple of hours, so it wouldn't surprise me to see, some people waking up, looking at their phones, noticing that they're up 30% and wanting to sell some stock. So, constitutional right, they're worth less, not more. Oh, shoot. You know what? I think you're right about that. It's a 0.26 variance down. Yeah, you're right about that. Sorry, I was thinking about the flip side. That's right, constitutional. So it's actually, all right. So the earnings call is not as good as it looks, but still positive, right? Still positive. But yeah, 26% worse about than it looks. Not quite 26%, but 0.26 variance down. All right. There we go. Thank you for pointing that out. almost spread misinformation for too long. So 5 minutes to open bell. Saddle up, Cowboys. Time to ride some bulls. Let's hope a lot of bulls are in Sundial. It's starting to move down a little bit, unfortunately. No, nothing to complain about, right? If you were in the stock any time before the past couple of minutes, or past like hour, so you're still up on money. So Sundial $5 this week, says Guns, Cats, Radios. Maybe it can. If we the potentially, right? If they actually come forward with the final wording of the bill, and Democrats say we're all in support of it and let's legalize this thing, then I could see Sundial at $5 by the end of next week, because this week is ending today technically. So I don't know if it'll get up to $5. It probably won't get up to $5 today. That would be crazy. But things are looking up for Sundial, right? Very exciting stuff for Sundial coming down the pipeline, right? The fact that they're finally making money is good to see. And there are a couple of other things that I would like to highlight that they mentioned in this earnings call. So they also acquired, let's see if we can't find it. It is in the earnings call, but they do actually discuss it more. Let me find a different article about it. Sundial Alcana is what I'm looking for. So here we go. So just a bit ago, October 7th, the article came out about this, that Sundial Growers is to acquire Alcana Inc., which is Canada's largest liquor distributor. Canada's largest private liquor retailer. All right, so that's what Alcana is. They operate under 3 retail brands, Wine & Beyond, Liquor Depot, and Ace Liquor. And Sundial acquired this company. They have been acquiring companies left and right. So they are not just in cannabis, right? They're in liquor as well. And we'll see what happens after their next earnings call. If this business really improves their earnings even more, then in another 3 months, we could be looking at another big pump. So, Guns, Cats, Radios, Sundial announced a stock buyback program, plus purchased the largest Canadian liquor store, plus the marijuana business legalization on the horizon, and everything else they have going for them, easy $5. We'll see. I hope so. I mean, to be fair, their market cap is only sitting at $1.4 billion right now, so they would be under $10 billion with all that, even if they were up at $5 per share. I don't know, though. We'll see. They do have a share repurchase program, so we'll have to see how that affects it. Obviously, that could have a big impact, right? That is a somewhat significant percentage of the shares outstanding that they have the right to purchase back now. Time to Wall Street bets, $150 at open. Do not follow my footsteps, the Lookin' channel says. Well, actually, that's interesting that you mentioned Wall Street bets. Let's take a peek and see how Sundial's doing on Ape Wisdom. You can see that Sundial is up to the spot number 8, up 495% mention-wise over the past 24 hours. Obviously, they're going to be getting a lot of attention after this great earnings calls and all the hype in the stock, right? The fact that they're up 30%, they're obviously going to be getting talked about more on Reddit and Wall Street Bets. But what's really great is that this is just the beginning, right? This news came out last night. It was kind of late. People might not have been looking at their phones. They might not have been posting to Reddit and whatnot. And it's still relatively early in the morning. So people might not really be talking about Sundial as much as they plan to, or as much as they will once we see what happens with it. And we could certainly see a lot of people posting to Reddit and Wall Street Bets, a lot of the good news that came out for Sundial, and that could certainly move the stock up. So we'll see if we can't find some support at 90 cents here. Got 10 million shares traded already in the first 19 seconds of trading. It looks like we're seeing a big red bar at open. Big red bar just moving down, people dumping their shares. Not what we want. Not what we want on Sundial. But we'll see. The first bar isn't always indicative of what's going to happen throughout the day. We could certainly see some green after this as some of the initial sellers get out, right? The sellers might have been looking at their phones early in the morning, looking at their portfolios, noticing they're up big, and looking to sell some shares. We'll see what happens, though. I know a lot of people, institutions especially, are trying to hold this thing below $1, and you can tell by looking at the call options. 106,000 open interest call options. Institutions are very scared that those will expire in the money. So they certainly do not want that. And we just made highs of intraday at 92.9 cents on this little flash pump right here. We'll see what happens with it. Very interesting. Tilray is following in suit, right? Tilray has started following Sundial. Canopy Growth, just seeing green on the day for Canopy. And Hexo is also following in Sundial's footsteps. So Tilray and Sundial and Hexo are all moving together, likely off of Sundial. What do you think of Tilray will close at today? Tough to say. I mean, it really depends on Sundial. If Sundial can get up above $1, Tilray could get up above 14 maybe. I could see that happening. Good news for Sundial is good news for Tilray in the sense that they are kind of linked together, right? They're in the same sector. If people are less bearish on cannabis stocks in general, then they're going to be less bearish on Tilray. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, I will point out one more time, I will beg for likes one more time. We've got 218 viewers, 142 likes on the stream. Maybe we could get it up to 170. Maybe we could do it if we got 27 more likes about. We would only need 27 more likes. So if 10% of the viewers like the stream, then we could get up there. We'll see if we can do it for this market open. Hopefully we can get a Sundial pump too. Honestly, I'd rather Sundial move up than the likes move up, but we'll see what happens with it. It looks like we're looking good right now. We're getting very close to making intraday highs. Just a couple more fractions of a penny. And Tilray is making intraday highs. So cool stuff on Tilray. Good to see that we didn't just instantly crash down on Sundial. I'm excited about that. Tilray's up 8%. And it's looking good. It's looking good all around. All the cannabis stocks are up pretty big. Canopy Growth, just green bars. No red for Canopy. And every other one was following Sundial pretty closely. So we had an initial red one, and now we're looking at two greens. So Miss Gates, thank you, Rob, for sharing with us. What do you think about OCGN? Any hope soon with orders from USA and Canada? Potentially, right? I think that once they get their next earnings call, they'll probably be moving up, or at least have a better earnings call off of the vaccine delivery. So I think OCGN, we can take a peek, will replace Canopy and then go back to it real quick. I think that, yeah, they could be moving up on their next earnings call. I obviously think that this was a little bit of an overreaction on good news that we got a massive sell-off from, but we'll see. Okay, so Hexo making intraday highs. Sundial just needs to do it too. Sundial's up. It looks like we just did it at 93 cents. Nice. All right, Sundial continuing to pump up almost 30%, up over 30% on the day with Sundial. Very exciting. Let's just hope for more of these green bars taking us straight to $1. That's what we're hoping for with Sundial. And the call options on Sundial. Let's take a peek at that after we get back to Canopy. Canopy, it looks like all green still. Haven't had a red bar on Canopy. All right, this is awesome stuff. Good to see. I was worried that we might get pushed down initially as the market opened. We might see a bunch of red. It looks like the only red we're seeing is the initial bar after some sellers got out on pretty big volume, by the way, but 17 million shares traded that minute. A lot of people must have been getting in as well. And if we take a peek at the options, you can see the options are already up big. People have doubled or tripled their money on these call options. They've went up to 3 and 4 cents. And the November 19th ones have went up pretty significantly as well. So people are making a lot of money on options, and I can only imagine what it will be at if we actually get up above $1. So cool stuff. I mean, obviously these options, they can't price them too high because $1 is not that far off, right? $1 is about 7 cents away, but they're expiring today. So these November 12th call options will be really crucial to seeing if we'll get a big gamma squeeze coming today even, or in after hours, as some institutions start having to cover, right? Institutions might be buying up some shares now. They might be looking at these green bars very worriedly, right? They might be very scared as we get to 95 cents that we're going to hit $1 and close above $1 today. They know that shorts can't do that much to help them. Shorts have already utilized most of the available shares to short, at least the shares to legally short. We'll see if shorts start naked shorting. I mean, I don't know how we would see that, but we'll take a peek at Hexo. We'll take a peek at Hexo. We're looking. Hexo, come to Sundial. Sundial's ripping, says Tyler Mike. Yeah, Hexo, it's making new highs each bar, it looks like. If we can do it this bar, that would continue the pattern of new highs every bar. So Sundial starting to take a breather right here. Moving down, bouncing off the 95. We'll see. And Looking Channel, let's push above $1, boys. I hope we do. And Tyler Mike, Republicans are behind legalizing now, Sundial. Yeah, they are. If we take a peek at that bill, Republican-led bill to legalize and tax marijuana emerges as alternative to Democratic measures. So exciting stuff. We can see Sundial is #1 ranking on StockTwits right there. #1 ranking on StockTwits. Cool stuff for Sundial. They're #1 on StockTwits. Let's see if we can't get them to #1 on Reddit. I think they could do it. If we refresh the page, they're up to #8. I think they could certainly do it because there is actually so much to talk about with Sundial. They have so many catalysts going for them. I can only imagine it will make for some very compelling Reddit posts. So, ticker Kronos Group. I own some of that as well. We'll look at Kronos. Kronos is up big, up 6% on these big green bars. And let's see. So, yeah, they're doing well also. SQQQ, I'm just taking a peek at real quick. Let me move that into this part of the chart right here, which is mostly covered up by my face. And we're up about $43 on our SQQQ position. All right, nice. I'm just going to keep that there in the bottom right where not too many people are looking at, hopefully. So Sundial looking good, though, making new highs back above 95 cents. Excited about this. Nice. And in a couple of minutes, I will go back over some of the catalysts. Just for those of you who are joining the stream now, I can see that the viewership is teetering back and forth, right? We get people joining, leaving, and we surely filter out throughout the course of the stream. It looks like Tilray, unfortunately, is taking a bit of a dip, right? They aren't quite keeping pace with Sundial. Some Tilray shareholders are starting to paper hands this thing. Sundial, though, the one thing we don't want to see is a big red bar, big flash crash taking us down to lows of day. That would be very, very worrisome for Sundial, right? It's not that we haven't seen that kind of thing before. We're just hoping we won't see it again. We're hoping that this time it's different because they actually do have a lot of positive catalysts coming out, and they've had good catalysts in the past, but these are by far the most compelling that we've seen. The markets are moving down, though, and you can tell at least the tech markets are moving down. SQQQ is up, so we'll see if the markets have red days today or not. But let's see, gold is up, and PROG is down. Well, gold itself is actually down, but Barrick gold is up. So, Aiden Fraser, I had Sundial but sold at a loss for Oxygen. Oh, darn. Did he make money in Oxygen, hopefully, at least? And Tyler Mike, Nancy Mace is speaking on legalizing November 19th, same day as Sundial share buyback. Nice. Did they announce that that's when the Sundial share buyback is, November 19th? Let's see. Let's see if any new news has come out. Okay, so Sundial extends rally. So let's see if there is any news about when they will be doing a share buyback. Let's see if there's anything for the 19th. I'm not sure if I can find anything on the share buyback date. I'm not sure. Where did you hear it was November 19th that they're doing the share buyback? I'm curious. Looks like Sundial's moving down off the 95, unfortunately. We'll see. We'll see if we can't start moving up again. This is not a bearish pattern by any means. The fact that we moved up and are taking a little bit of a breather. We'll see, though, over the next couple minutes. And we'll see what happens at 10:30 when we have their earnings call or their earnings conference call. So we'll see what happens with all these cannabis stocks, right? My guess is that a lot of these cannabis stocks are going to be riding the back of Sundial. They're going to be looking at it very closely to see what's going on. And the Looking Channel says, yeah, I'm down 25% on Oxygen. And Aiden is holding. Alcana earnings today. Nice. And MT Almastens, new to channel, subbed. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Sundial's certainly doing good. We talk about Sundial from now, over the course of the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about Sundial, and we do mention them every now and then whenever there's a big catalyst. So if you're in it for Sundial, then you will be in for a pleasant surprise. It looks like we are starting to move down, though. Hopefully not making lows of day. Hopefully 90 acts as support for us, but we'll see. We'll see. If we can stay above 88.29, then we wouldn't have made lows of day quite yet. We'll see if it happens. Obviously, a lot of people are going to look to take profits on this one. Very unfortunate if we do make lows a day. No Sundial back up. Rocket ship, says the Looking Channel. I hope But Aiden Fraser says, but yes, I'm up 802 average. Nice buy on that. Oh, and it looks like we might get a bounce right off or almost exactly off the low of there. We might see a nice bounce. This is understandable because the markets are moving down a little bit. And, maybe people are looking for a little bit of a less risky position. Specifically, people who have been in Sundial for the past 90 days might be looking to take some of their Sundial shares off the table. They are all up on money pretty much. If you were in this thing for the past 90 days, pretty much everybody's up on money since we're above, well, not everybody. If you bought literally 90 days ago, then you are down a couple of percentages, but people might be looking at it as, well, I can break even. So Sundial never got a buy signal from Ichimoku. Darn, I didn't look at that, Zach. I was busy yesterday. I'll try to look at that over the weekend though. Ichimoku. I've heard of that because of you, but that's the only place I've heard of it. So I will look at that indicator at some point, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's all about yet. The picture you sent was interesting though. So need charts. Oh shoot, or do we not have charts? Of course we're doing that. All right, there we go. The charts. My bad. Thank you, Wilton Forbes. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Every now and then I mess up and click the wrong button, and it moves to the face cam. Unfortunately, I need to change those bindings. But now we've got the charts back. So we've got 200 viewers, 171 likes. Let's see if we can't bump it up. 29 more likes, get up to 200 likes. Maybe Sundial can bump back up as well. Hopefully, we'll bounce off of the 90 here. Hopefully that acts as support for us, and we can make our way up to 100 on news of this earnings call coming out soon. So let's see where we can watch that. So let's go to Sundial's website and see if we can't find their so Sundial Cannabis right here. Interesting. They want me to submit information to their website. I don't want to do it, but yeah, all right. We'll say that and let's just enter some random information. All right. So we're in, I don't know if I can actually show this stuff. I don't know if I can show this, but let's go to the investor relations part of their page. Surely that will be safe to look at, but let's just pull up the Sundial page right here. So, Sundial, investor relations. Sundial plus Spirit Leaf. Sundial growers acquire Spirit Leaf retail. Aren't building a company. I don't know if I can show this kind of stuff on screen. But maybe I can. I don't know. I'll keep it off screen though for now. While Sundial is moving down, I'll keep that off screen and look at it myself. Change the hotkey to Shift or Control +1. That's a good idea. I should do that. Yep. Not a bad plan. I didn't think about having multiple bindings. Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all, actually. That would definitely save me from making mistakes, unless I was typing, an exclamation point or something. Or yeah, that's what Shift would do, I'm pretty sure. An exclamation point. So I tried to avoid that, but yeah, Sundial is starting to move down a little bit. We're only up 22% on the day, which isn't bad. I shouldn't say only up 22%. We're still doing pretty good. All things considered, right? Maybe we'll get a bounce off of 88 cents. And it's not surprising to see that we have some sellers stepping in, right? The sellers probably are looking to take some profits, unfortunately for us. And for those of you who are new, I will go back and cover some of the catalysts that you guys wanted to be looked at, right? So for those of you who don't know why Sundial is pumping, we're going to be talking about the earnings call. The earnings is the most obvious catalyst that they have going for them. They got really good earnings, $11.3 million for their third quarter in earnings, and this compares to $71.4 million loss that they got in the third quarter of the previous year, so they are doing very well compared to how they were a year ago earnings-wise, and their net revenue from cannabis is $14.4 million for the third quarter, and this is a 57% increase versus the second quarter, so really impressive stuff there. And one of the most impressive parts of this whole thing is that they have $1.2 billion of cash and long-term securities as of November 9th, 2021. So that's almost their whole market cap, if you look at it. That almost accounts for their whole market cap. So The other big catalyst that we're going to be talking about a lot is their share repurchase program. We're going to have to see. I'm going to look into it later today when they're actually going to be buying back some shares, and potentially, there's no news out about it, but I'll figure that out later today. But they have announced that they will be doing share repurchases of up to $100 million of its outstanding common shares. So that's really good. And they also had a stipulation that they may only purchase a maximum of 102 million shares. So, that's about 5% of their shares outstanding. So not the highest amount, but still a very, very good move in the right direction, as opposed to what they were doing in the past, where they were diluting. So Sundial is starting to downtrend a little bit. This is not what we wanted to see, not what we were looking for with Sundial. We were hoping to break $1. It's not impossible to break it today. It's not impossible, but we're going to have to see. So let me take a peek at the portfolio and see what Sundial's doing to it. Okay, still up on the day. Still up on the day, obviously, right? Because Sundial is up big. But let's see what Sundial's looking like at these prices, what the options are looking like on Sundial. So, you can sell some... oh, never mind. Those were the puts I was looking at. You can still sell some pretty pricey call options if you're looking to. You could certainly collect a bit of a premium on Sundial stock, selling call options. I'm not sure. I probably won't do it. I'll probably wait on this one. I'd rather sell them when it's above $1 than sell them now. But we'll see. Obviously, I might be missing out on the opportunity to sell them for a big premium when we just spiked up so much, and implied volatility is probably much higher right now. But we'll see. Zach Taylor, let's go SBEA. Let's go SBEA. Let's take a peek at SBEA. Where is it? It's up a little bit. Up a little bit. We'll put it down here. And SBEA up 0.87%. Hoping that this one starts moving. It looks like we might be starting an uptrend right here. We were downtrending for a bit ever since they announced that SBA was acquiring some Black Rifle Coffee Company shares. Ever since they announced that this was taking Black Rifle Coffee Company public. So maybe we'll be starting a little bit of an uptrend right now. Maybe the Black Rifle fans have bought up enough shares for it to happen. And it looks like Sundial is starting to move down. Unfortunately, people are getting scared out. They're paper hands in this thing. Penny Smith, 2012. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Penny Smith. Good morning. And no one is selling. Manipulation is going on in dark pools. Wall Street trickery, says Tyler Mike. Very possible. Very possible. I mean, I'm not selling. I don't know. Is anyone... let's put up a poll, actually. Let's put up a poll. Are you buying, or what are you doing with Sundial today? How about that? We're gonna have buying, selling, holding, and something with options. How about this? This looks good. Or nothing. We'll do that. We'll do nothing. All right, so let's see how this poll goes, what you guys are doing with Sundial. So Terry Wallace bought 1,100 shares this morning and down low. Yeah, unfortunately, if you're buying in the AM, then it's looking like most of the people are down, unless you were very, very early on at buying around here. But if you bought during the pump yesterday, then you had some opportunities still to be green, but not many, right? You had to be very early on in the buying of the pump. So looks like we've got a couple of votes. We've got a couple of votes in the poll already. Looks like everyone is holding so far. Some people are buying. Some are selling, though. We've got 35 votes. We've got quite a few votes coming in on this poll. 47 votes. It looks like it's a big mix between buying and holding. There's a little bit of selling and some nothing. So that is not quite representative. Obviously, we don't represent the majority of people because it looks like Sundial is moving down a touch. But hopefully we represent some of the people who are about to be more profitable. So the hope is that Sundial will rise by the end of the day, and at least make highs from where it opened. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm thinking above 90 cents is looking good for Sundial, and above $1 is looking incredible for them. Now, when you compare this to what we saw during their last big pump, their last massive rally, this isn't too different from what happened. So let's find a better view. Let's look at the past 2 years. You can see before they actually went off on their last massive rally up to about $3 or $4. They closed the day prior at 60 cents, and then they opened at 93 cents, 94 cents, and ended up moving down throughout the course of the day. Obviously, it was a very volatile day. They reached highs of $1.35 and lows of 66 cents, but they actually did end up closing the day red. That didn't stop them, however, from continuing to move up on this uptrend and hit highs of $4.20, I think, or around there at least. So just because Sundial is moving down temporarily doesn't mean that, that this pump is done by any means. Obviously, this catalyst isn't quite as big. It's not quite as well known as, the other time when GameStop was pumping, all the meme stocks were going crazy. And Sundial volume, already very high volume, 280 million shares, certainly a high volume day. Not loving the look of this bar being red, but it would be understandable if we ended a little red today. Wouldn't surprise me too much, and then continued uptrend over the next couple of days. That's what not what I would like to see the most, right? I would like to see mostly Sundial moving up today, right? I'd like to see us above $1, but I'd even take above 90 cents as a good sign that Sundial is holding strong, right? They're still up 19%. And I hope that this doesn't go the way that it typically goes, or at least that it goes sometimes where, we're watching a stock and we say, well, it's still up 19%. And then 10 minutes later, well, it's still up 15%. And then an hour later, well, it's still up 3%. And, hopefully it doesn't go that way. But we are still up 18% at the moment. So down 1% from where we were a minute ago. We'll see when this downtrend ends, though. Hopefully, it's only been the first 22 minutes of market open, so it hasn't been the longest period of time. Maybe we'll find a bottom at 85. 82 could act as a little bit of support. I have noticed that there is a little bit of an indication that we saw a little bit of a bounce off of 81.5 and support at 82.5. So 82 might act as support. Let's actually draw it there. You can see right here we got little bounces off of 82 and 82 right there. So maybe 82 cents will be the bottom for this if we keep moving down. That's the hope, at least, that we could find some support there. We'll have to see how it reacts. If it even gets down that low, I'm hoping it doesn't. So Ryan Brown holding 450 cons. I'm guessing you mean contracts. And Jay Vula says hold my apes. Smiley face. I'm holding mine. And Nathan says Sundial volume ripping, but stock is dripping. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's take a peek. It's still number one most active. Let's refresh on StockTwits. So it's still getting a lot of attention right now. It's only the first 22 minutes of market open. On Reddit, let's see where we're at. We're still, it looks like, Ape Wisdom does take some time to update. It's not as live as we would like to believe, but it's still the number 8 trending stock on on Reddit, I should say, on Reddit. So up 46 spots today, up 524% mention-wise, and we'll see. We only need a couple more mentions to get this thing above NVIDIA, and, I would not be surprised to see over the next, 24 hours this thing moving up a ton as people put together all the catalysts and put together some posts on Reddit about, on Sundial, but we are looking like we're bouncing off of 85. We're up to 87 now, so this is good stuff. Up 21% on the day. Ashtray, I'm late. What's up with PROG naked shorting now? Ortex utilization. We'll take a peek at the Ortex for PROG. We'll take a peek. So PROG. Obviously, this may be delayed data. Yeah, so Veterans Day kind of messed up the Ortex data. It's looking like this is Thursday's data, but we're at 34% short interest, 99.89% utilization. And what's up with the naked shorting now? I'm not sure. I've not heard about the naked shorting on PROG. They might be doing it. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But PROG is down below $3, so not ideal for PROG stock. Not ideal for PROG stock, unfortunately. Let's see let's just keep this list open so we can keep an eye on what these stocks are doing. DWAC is moving down a little bit. So Sundial, so exciting, says Seashells and Dreams. I'm excited about it. And 1030 earnings report, says C. Cortez. Holding 600, says Duty. Oh, yeah. Nice. And good news or bad news, says Shadow. What to do? And they're talking to C. Cortex. So we're waiting for the earnings report, right? It'll probably be good news. I can't imagine they'll say anything bad. I mean, they've released some of their info, and the earnings numbers look great. The share repurchase program looks amazing. We'll see what happens. And I will point out, guys, we have 197 likes on the stream. That's only 3 away from 200. If we could bump it up to 200, that would be incredible. If we could get, probably a couple extra people in the stream from that, that would be much appreciated. If we could bump it up just a touch, that would be very nice of you guys. If you would care to do it, we would only need 3 people doing that. That would be very nice. So I would appreciate it. We're up to 208. We did it good. We did it good. Nice. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. All right. So let's see. Sundial up to 87 cents per share. Looking good. Looking good. Still, obviously, number one most active on stock twits. For some reason, it's not a top trender, though. Let's see what people are saying about Sundial on stock twits. If you're selling or thinking of it, just keep in mind we haven't touched $1 yet. The entire point of this run is regaining compliance. They're not going to be delisted. They're so big. So what's the alternative? So yeah, people are thinking that they'll try to get up above $1, so that they can maintain NASDAQ compliance, right? They have to stay above $1 if they want to remain listed. So we'll see if they can do it. Hopefully they can, right? That's the hope. We're all hoping for much more than $1 over the long term on Sundial, I can tell. So what do you think about the Russian escalating war in Ukraine? And the Congress has petitioned for U.S. troops and equipment to be sent. Will that affect the market if it goes whole scale? That sounds like probably something that would affect the market. But I have not heard of this. I've not been keeping up with that kind of news lately. So that certainly could affect the markets. But I don't think, it's been so long since we've really been in a major conflict that actually affected our day-to-day lives. I don't know. We're very lucky here in the U.S. So I'm not sure. So I'm hopeful for a run-up 90 cents to $1, says C. Cortez. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. And what happens if they get delisted? Well, I don't think that they would actually get delisted. I think that what they would do before getting delisted would probably be a reverse stock split. So they would actually just take every, 2 shares of Sundial you have would turn into 1 share and they double the price of it. So I think that's what they would do. And Shadow Girl, I bought for 94 cents. Near the highs, I'll say, but we certainly have the possibility of getting back up to above 94 cents in $1, right? You're down a little bit right now, but there's always the chance that we'll move back up, right? I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried about Sundial moving down in a big way. So, come the earnings call, we could actually have good news, right? Coming out at the 10:30 earnings call in about 30 minutes. They'll be doing that. Let me see if I can't pull up the earnings call. Let's see if we're going to be able to watch it. We might listen to it. I tend to not like listening to the earnings calls, but let's see. So, all right, NASDAQ Sundial earnings day. All right, so I'm not seeing a place to stream the earnings call. We'll see. Well, maybe we'll listen to it. I don't know. Volume is growing, says Seashell and Dreams. Yeah, volume is up big on the day. If you look at the day, we've already had more than average volume, and we're not even an hour into the trading day. So already 300 million shares have traded hands. And if we get above 322, that would be the most shares that have traded hands in recent history, the past couple of months at least. Ever since the last pump when we were up to $1.50 just about, when we had almost 1 billion shares trading hands. We'll see if we can do it today. We're off to a good start. We're off to a very good start, and who knows, if we see some craziness around the earnings call, then we could be moving up volume-wise as well as price-wise. So that would be good. And C. Cortez says Sundial will buy back 5% of shares. Very possible, very possible. Certainly we saw that in the announcement of their share repurchase program, right? They have some time to do it. But they can buy back approximately 5% of shares, and it depends on the price, right? So it depends on the price that they buy these back at, because they only have 100 million to spend on shares, and there are 2 limits on what they can do for share repurchases, right? They can either spend a maximum of $100 million or buy back 102 million shares, whichever comes first, right? They can only do one of those 2 things. Once they hit one, then they have to stop. And if the price moves up a ton and they buy back a bunch of shares, then it would be much less of the free float, right? If the price drops a ton and they buy back the 102.8 million shares, then it would represent a large percentage of the outstanding shares, right? If they can afford to do it. So under $1, I think they could afford to do it. I think that's how the math works out. Under $1.08 or something like that. So do I have to buy more while it's cheap? So wait. So Shadow Girl, do I have to buy more while it's cheap? I mean, you don't have to buy more. You can if you want. It depends on if you have the risk tolerance for it, right? Obviously, it's up 21% on the day. There is room for some downside on it. We could certainly be moving down. If you look, there's a lot of room to fill on this gap up. So it could move down. I don't think it will, though. And this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling anyone what to do with their money. I'm just telling you guys what I think will happen. And let me actually point out today, if you guys are interested in this, let me point this out to you because you may be wanting the opportunity to get some free money. You guys might want some free money. So if you go down to the description of this video, I will plug this. You go down to the description, you hit that Webull referral link, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. And I think they're also doing a promotion right now where you get an additional $15 for opening up your account. So all you have to do is click the link in the description, the Webull referral link, get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. It should be in all of my videos. We can pull it up right here. You can see this is the link you should be clicking if you want those 2 free stocks right here. You click it, it takes you to this page. Get your 2 free stocks today. Open up your account for your first free stock. Direct deposit any amount for another free stock, so just a penny, and you would be getting some free stocks from doing that. So that's in the description of this stream as well as the description of all my videos. If you guys want some free stocks for opening up a Webull account, then you may as well go into that. And I think currently they're doing a fall or Thanksgiving promotion. You also get $15 for opening up account there. So if you guys are interested, feel free to do it. So I knew the earnings would be good, says Artemis. Yeah, I mean, I had a good feeling about this one. So Title Mike Zach is taking questions from shareholders at earnings call at 10:30. Nice. And what does it mean when a company buys back its shares, says Mohammed Qadi. So when a company buys back its shares, let's look at the past of Sundial to help exemplify this. So in the past, Sundial was doing share offerings. They were doing direct offerings to raise capital for the company because they needed money to stay afloat. So they were essentially adding shares to the free float and taking money in exchange for those shares that they could then use to run operations and stay afloat to improve their business. And they were doing that in the past, and that's why the share price was falling, because they were perpetually increasing the number of shares that were in circulation. So that's why the share price was falling for a while. And now that they're doing share buybacks, they're actually buying back shares. The company is buying back shares and essentially taking them out of circulation. So there are less shares available for you and I to buy. And that means if we want the same allocation of capital in Sundial, we have to have more money in the stock. So it's all around a good thing for stock price. So Ambition 2020, 18K for the day, 240 viewers. Rob, fantastic. Have a great weekend. Going to treat my whiplash with wine. All right, have a good one, Ambition. Happy to hear you made some money today. And yeah, the stream's certainly doing very well. So have a good one. We'll see you at next Monday. Today's Friday, so no streams going on or no videos even over the weekend. But we'll see you on Monday, Ambition. Have a good one. And Seashells and Dreams. Love Shiba. Yeah, we'll take a peek at Shiba. Let's take a peek at that. Let's see what they're doing. Shiba Inu, we'll pull that up. And potentially, so Shiba, it looks like it's down 4% over the past 24 hours, unfortunately. So Shiba Inu is down a little bit. We're down. We're just continuing this little downtrend that we've been on over the past about half a month. We've just been downtrending a little bit. We'll see if we can't find a bottom. Maybe this was the bottom when we got below 5. When we got below that 5,000 number, whatever. I don't know how to talk about the price of Shiba because it's such a small fraction of a cent, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with Shiba Inu, right? I'm still holding my Shiba. I'm still up pretty big on it. Probably never going to sell it. Just hold on to it just because. Just like what I'm doing with Dogecoin, never sell that either. Maybe sell it. If it pumped up huge, then I'd sell some of it maybe, but not looking to sell a ton. So, yeah, Shiba's been doing good, though. And let's see, Sundial on StockTwits, it certainly is getting a lot of mentions. Certainly getting a lot of mentions. So, so it looks like people are highlighting the fact that they have so much cash on hand. and securities and long-term investments. Very impressive stuff. So, not financial advice here, but expectations on our beloved stock, says C. Cortez. Holding for the long. Yep, as am I. I'm holding for the long term, especially now that they're profitable. It looks like a better hold than ever. And this is a very encouraging chart, right? The fact that they're up this much is very good. Now, we'll see where we bottom out, right? When we stop this little downtrend run, hopefully we've already bottomed to 85. It looks like we're starting to make a move back to it, but if we could bounce off of 86, that would be very encouraging. That would mean that we're starting to make higher lows. So we'll see. So, Abstract Artemis, do you think there will be a short squeeze on Sundial? Well, let's pull up the Sundial Ortex data to discuss this with. So, on Ortex, you can see, oh, they finally updated it. It looks like shorts came in a little bit today, right? Plus 0.63% increase in shorted shares. So, a couple million additional shares are being shorted, bringing us up to a 15.24% short interest as a percentage of the free float. And if you look at this, Sundial has just perpetually been increasing their shorts, right? So people have just been shorting Sundial pretty much, well, for a long time, but ever since the big pump up in price, people started shorting Sundial. And we've just slowly been rising, it looks like, right? Making essentially higher highs on these Sundial shorted shares. So I do expect that we could see a short squeeze for sure, right? Will we see it today? Probably not, right? I don't think we've risen enough for that. But if we can get well above $1, then people might start to get worried. Eventually, shorts are going to have to cover, right? What you really want is to trap shorts in a situation where they've shorted at cheaper prices and they're going to have to buy in at some point, right, to cover those positions because it doesn't look like the stock is going to be dropping anytime soon. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce off of 86. We'll see if that continues, but that's what you really want. So if we could get up above $1, that would really put some pressure on shorts to start covering. They might have to think about it. And Noble H says, "Hey Rob, wow, congrats on the 200 plus viewers and likes today. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we're doing very well with this Sundial news, right? I've been fortunate to have been keeping track of Sundial for a long time, so it's my suspicion that a lot of viewers of the stream have likely gotten this video recommended to them because I have made some Sundial videos in the past. So hopefully this isn't all of your first interactions with me, but hopefully you guys have seen the channel before. But if not, feel free to subscribe to the channel. You know, we do these live streams every morning at 9. We talk about all kinds of stocks, Sundial included. So feel free to join us as a subscriber if you guys want. And I do make videos. I'll certainly be making some videos about Sundial later today. With regards to when I think there will be a short squeeze, I think that if we could get well above $1, we could start putting a lot of pressure on shorts. And, today there is real potential for a gamma squeeze. Okay, no, we want Sundial right here. That's not DWAC. Okay, so we want Sundial to get up above $1 because there are currently 106,000 open interest call options expiring later today. Okay, so November 12th, the strike date, November 12th, today, we've got 106,000 open interest call options expiring at $1, right? So if we can get above $1, that would really put some buying pressure on institutions to start buying up shares and handing them out to the investors in those call options. So Leonard Lovett, how long do they need to stay above $1 to warn off delisting? I think that they just need to be up there at all, right? If they could just get above $1, even very briefly, I'm pretty sure. Maybe they need to I don't know, actually. Let's see. Let me check that. I think maybe they need to close the day. They either need to just touch it or close the day, I think. So let me look into that. On day 30, if the stock sells, so I think it just has to sell for. Okay, let's see. All right. So on the NASDAQ, let's see, $1. Let's find that. So could result in a huge percent swing. $1 stock difference. Okay. So I'm pretty sure they just need to trade above $1 for any period of time, right? If they can just get up there, then I'm pretty sure they can ward off delisting. I'm not 100% on that, but that's what it seems to be saying right here. So right here, this part where it says, however, it must sell for $1 or more on day 30, right? So it must sell for $1 or more. That kind of implies that they're just saying it has to sell for $1 or more. They didn't specify how long, right? So maybe the article was just not being too specific on it. Maybe they just weren't being too accurate. But from what they said, it seems like they just need to trade above $1 for any point, and it's very unfortunate actually that they didn't hit $1 right here in the pre-market. That would have been nice. They got very close. And Abstract says you could just call me Abstract. All right, I will do that. So look at volume growing. Yes, Seashells and Dreams, it certainly is growing. And Rocky Mountain Gobblers, really enjoy your live streams all week. I also catch your videos. Thanks. For sure, Rocky Mountain. I recognize you from the live streams. You're always commenting and all that. So definitely. And Noble H, I need to change my poll response because I just bought some more. Nice. Yeah, we've got okay, so the poll. We've got 201 votes in the poll, and 31% of people are buying Sundial stock. Let me change back to a different screen right here. Unfortunately, every time I click one, it changes away from the main screen. I certainly need to change that. But so yeah, we've got 31% people buying Sundial stock. 5% are selling. 52% are holding, and 13% are doing nothing with Sundial stock. So $5 truck, what will the conference call tell us that we don't already know? So it just gives the company's execs a chance to talk and answer some questions. So it's not. I don't think they're going to be releasing any huge information that we didn't already have, but it will give them a chance to answer questions. So if if anyone has any questions, then they have the opportunity to be answered there. So I'm thinking it has to stay above $1 like 30 minutes to keep from being delisted, John says. Yeah, probably something. I mean, it seems strange for it to just have to hit $1 at any point, but who knows? I'll look into that, though. Unfortunately, all of the stock market information is not too publicly available almost. I mean, I'm sure it's available a little bit, but it's really tough to find a lot of it. So Zach says, gold and silver winning so far today. Yeah, let's see. Gold is looking like it's moving up on the day. Nice. And silver as well. Silver's actually green overall, even regarding the close. So gold is almost about to be at break even if it can just move up a touch more. All right, that's looking good for silver and gold. The markets are starting to move up a little bit. They were downtrending off of 392. They started to take a little bit of a dip. We'll see what happens with them. It's looking kind of risky to be in the markets right now. The markets might be dipping further, right? If they get below 390, really, I guess it's $390.50. If QQQ drops below that, it could be ugly. Could be ugly for QQQ. All right, so maintain over $1 for 10 consecutive days, says Vinny T. Jeez. That's okay, I guess. That could be the requirement. I would like to know when they will begin to buy back shares. Yeah, maybe that's a question that could be answered at the earnings call when they have that at 10:30. Let's hope. Delisting is BS. Been trading below $1 for months on end. Yeah, it has been. But they have a bit of time before it gets delisted, right? I don't think that's imminent for them. Has to close above $1 and hold for 10 consecutive days. All right, there we go. So thank you for pointing that out. And a couple other people pointed that out. So, San Diego, I'm about to, I think, buy some at this price. Yeah, that could be good. I've never seen a more compelling time when Sundial might really start moving up big in the future, but there is a lot of downside risk, right? You can see this is a big gap up, and we are at bottom of day. So, if you think you can catch the bottom, then be my guest, right? We might see a bottom at 84, but we are starting to make lows of the day. Maybe we'll see a bottom, let's see, at 82 cents. We might see a bottom there, right? That's what we saw in the after hours and pre-market, both resistance right here and some support right here. So 82 cents could be the place to bounce off of. And it might coincide very closely with the earnings call. If we can resist from dropping down to 82 cents the next couple of minutes, it's not looking great. We are starting to dip fairly significantly on some big volume right here. So let's see. Violet Blue really hoping that Sundial breaks $1. Me too. And Shadow Girl is too. Anyone have the link for the call, says Vinny D. I don't have the link for the call. Let me look and see if I can find it. Okay. So, corporate presentation. No, that's not what we want. Investor events. Okay. Let's see. No, nothing there. I'm surprised it's not easier to find on their website. Investor resources, maybe? No. Yeah, no good links that I'm finding. I don't know where the heck they're going to be posting this conference call. So Abstract says, do you think we'll ever get back to all-time highs? Do I think we get back to all-time highs? So all-time highs are at $13 per share. It could be a bit before we get to all-time highs. The fact that they're doing these share repurchase programs, though, is very good for the stock. That's really good, actually. The fact that they are starting to buy back shares, because we were at these all-time highs when the share count was much lower, right? They diluted a lot since then, and that actually accounted for a lot of the drop in Sundial stock price. So now that they're buying back shares, it's very possible that over the next year or two, we could get back closer to all-time highs, right? I don't know if we'll hit all-time highs in the next couple of years. I think they've got some growing to do. But we could certainly break the highs of this pump, right? I think we could get above $4 in the next year, especially, if we legalize. If we legalize, then I don't see why we couldn't pump up to all-time highs. I don't know if we'll stay there, just because they will take some time to actually grow their revenues and whatnot, and be valued at that from a fundamental standpoint. So, Shinyman Rob, which company do you think DWAC might acquire, Mark or AIDA or others? Are they going to acquire a company? I thought that DWAC was acquiring Trump Media and Technology Group. I thought that was the deal with DWAC. I didn't realize that are there talks that they're thinking of acquiring Mark or AIDA? I didn't hear about it. So has Sundial entered the U.S. market yet? I don't believe so. I don't believe they have. So Sundial U.S. market. Let's see. I don't believe they've entered the U.S. market. So the Lookin' Channel says if legalization happens, I think it'll grow huge in a year. So absolutely, I think so. I think it will. Okay, and Shiny Shineman Zach, I was in for years. Already got 4x return from my original buy. Nice. And what breakout are you guys talking about? Oh, gold and gold stocks. Yep. Yeah, no, I'm loaded up on gold stocks also. I'm hoping that they continue pumping. It looks like Barrick Gold is doing pretty good on the day. Let's see if we can't break 21 on the day with Barrick Gold. I'm hopeful for Barrick Gold to be doing well. So, let's see. We got Tilray. Tilray's downtrending alongside Sundial, unfortunately. I'll pull up OGI or maybe Hexo. We'll see what Hexo's up to. Okay, so it looks like a similar pattern, right? Highs around open, they were trending up, and then as soon as Sundial started moving down, so did they. So Lonnie Gomez, PROG and AQST will double by Thanksgiving. Those are my favorites right now. I might get into Sundial too. Nice. And Shadow Girl says, are you trying to make us feel good? If yes, please do. So, Chris Cross, Rob Amazy, can you imagine they announce buying back starting today? If they do so, what do you think the price target would be? Well, I think it'll be a good day if we can get above $1. If we can get above $1 today, that would be a really good day. It would be a nice day if we got above 90 cents and held above there. If they announce shares being bought back today, that could raise the price quite a bit, right? If they actually bought back all the shares available, if they really just put forward the idea that, hey, we want to buy back our shares and we believe in the company and whatnot, that could certainly inspire some faith in them. So I could see us getting above $1 for sure if we did that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it, right? And when I say above $1, I mean, if we get above $1, sky's the limit, right? And, the important thing to realize about Sundial is that it pumps over multiple days. It tends to not just be one massive bar. Like we saw that here where we did get a big green bar up, but still, it was many days in the making that we saw a lot of green building up to it, right? We got up from the lows of 50 cents just about where we were before that pump and got up to 167 or 164 over the next week or two before we saw a massive green bar. So, this may just be the beginning. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. The fact that we're moving down isn't ideal. Hopefully, we'll find some support at 82 cents. Where we've got a little bit of resistance and support. Hopefully we'll find some there. We'll see if this can't act for us. We haven't tested it in a while. In the past long time, it looks like. Past 90 days, just about. What happens if we extend that to the left? So, okay, so previously we actually did hit some highs around 82 cents. So we'll see. Maybe 82 will act nicely for us. I'm hopeful. So AK-47 says FAMI. Will FAMI squeeze? I'm hoping it will. I'm holding my FAMI. We'll move FAMI down here. But I don't know if it'll squeeze. Let's take a look at the short interest on FAMI. I forget what that was. I'm holding FAMI over the long term just on fundamentals, but we'll see. So FAMI's not too heavily shorted, unfortunately. FAMI stock isn't the most heavily shorted stock. About 3% of the short interest, or 3% of the free float is shorted, so not the highest short interest on FAMI. But I'm hopeful for it, right? So they've entered the U.S. market through lending. You're not a good pumper. I think you work to short this, says Tyler Mike. No. I'm still holding. I'll show you my holding of Sundial. I'll show it to you. Let's see. Sundial right here. I've got 12,000 shares. Let's pull up the chart. We're up $1,300 on the day right there. So let's find the right camera for this. I will prove it to you guys. Not trying to short Sundial at all. Almost dropped the thing. All right, here we go. So Sundial right there, 83 cents, 12,000 shares, all about $10,000 of value in that, and you can see the total return and today's return and all that. So decent stuff on Sundial, right? There we go. So Tyler Mike, watch this guy. He's a little shady on his pumping. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm not, the important thing is I'm not trying to pump anything, right? This isn't financial advice. I'm just letting you guys know my opinion. I'm just discussing it. So, don't make any moves based off of what I say. Don't buy, don't sell. Not trying to convince anyone. Just curious what you guys are doing. Looking at the poll, we've got 261 votes, 31% buying, 49% holding, 13% have nothing to do with Sundial, and 7% are selling. So overall, it's looking pretty good. It looks like most of the people involved in Sundial want it to go up, or at least thinking it will go up, right, if you're holding or buying. So I am in that holding boat. I am holding. And anyone selling... So Violet Blue asks, anyone, selling point for Sundial. When would you sell Sundial? Tough to say. See, I probably wouldn't just directly sell Sundial shares unless we pumped up massively. If we've got to like $2, maybe. But I'd be more likely to sell call options on it, right? I'd be more likely to sell calls that are out of the money and just collect and hope to collect premium on those and hope that Sundial doesn't rise too much in the meantime. So, if we get above $1, that's when I'll start selling calls is my plan. And, I'll probably sell some for $1.50, some for $2, hoping that we won't actually hit those prices by the strike dates that I sell them for. They probably won't be very far out. But that is my plan for Sundial, right? So I'm going to wait the next couple of days, right? Over the weekend, maybe we'll get some more people learning about it and moving up and buying some Sundial shares. So we'll see. Maybe Sundial will open up higher on Monday. That's the hope, at least, right? And we're going to see in 7 minutes what happens at this earnings call. It is actually coinciding almost perfectly with the 82-cent support level. So it'll be cool to see if we start moving up big off of that. But my plan for Sundial, I should say, I will let you guys know what my plan is, and don't take this plan. This isn't advice. This is just me telling you guys what I'm doing. To know, if you want to copy it, you can, but I'm not recommending that you do. But what I'm waiting for is when we get to $1, I'm going to start selling some call options and sell them for far out strike prices and near-term strike dates. Just collect some premium. Hope that it moves up in the meantime, but not too much, right? I don't want the call options to actually expire in the money. I'd rather hold on to the shares and just keep selling those call options while the implied volatility is high. So that's the plan with Sundial. And still just going to hold, some shares for the long term just because it seems like a good one to have over the long term, right? It could become one of the main cannabis retailers and distributors in the U.S. If we get legalization. It could become a big one. So holding Sundial, it's worth holding. Says Seashells and Dreams. Yep, I think it's worth holding. Violet Blue says, sweet, thank you for the input. For sure. And James says, what is the PaySafe lawsuit about? Well, we can look at PaySafe. It looks like they're up on the day, but I think they were down big yesterday. Yeah, so they crashed about 30% yesterday. Maybe more than that. Let's see what it actually was that they crashed from. They were down about 41% on the day. So yeah, the PaySafe lawsuit I haven't actually looked into too much. I just saw that they tanked on it and decided not to get into PaySafe. But let's see if we can't find a PaySafe lawsuit article and what they're all about. So let's see. So, as of yesterday at 1:16 p.m., shareholder rights law firm is investigating potential claims about PaySafe Limited and its officers and directors in violation of securities laws. If you purchase so PaySafe also guided revenue and profit forecast down for the balance year. Following the news, PaySafe stock was trading down 41%. So it looks like maybe they misguided some investors beforehand. Before their earnings call, maybe they were saying things that were a little too bullish. It could be. I'm not sure. I didn't keep up with that. So Sundial, I may invest in the product. Sundial may invest in the product, in the product that they sell or the stock. Who knows, Zach? Who knows? So, what is the conversion from CAD to US? Like 50%? No, I think it's a 26% change. So we can pull it up right here. So $1 Canadian is worth 0.8 US dollars. So not bad, and that means $1 US is worth 1.26 Canadian dollars. There we go. So that's the conversion ratio. And Canadian money not worth USD 0.8 a decade ago. Has it lost more value? No, it's the same. And Adil Pervez says, what do you think about Tlgtq? Well, let's take a look. Tlgtq. Intelligent Inc. So it's a 4-cent company. Interesting. Over the past year, they've not been doing great. Down off their highs. Let's see. Tlgtq. So $4 million market cap. Very low market cap stock. No news for this stock either. Such a low market cap that nobody's really reporting on them, so it's tough to say. I don't even know what they do as a company, but I probably wouldn't be looking to get into them. They look very cheap. They look like they have been in a downtrend for a bit. Probably wouldn't be looking to gamble on this. I mean, it is a gamble, right? You're buying this on the hope that it pumps up, and 2 or 3 X's, but it's tough to guarantee. So, okay, Snowball H. Oh shoot, the camera again. Darn. So has suggestions for the binds on the camera. Yeah, there are actually. Yeah, those would be good binds for the camera. Not a bad idea, Noble. I appreciate that. Yeah, so maybe I will. I certainly have to change the bindings. I'll do that. I'll try to do that over the weekend. I'll try to remember it. In fact, let me write it down on my to-do list. I have to change the binds on the camera. Because that's too horrible that it keeps happening many times every live stream. So change camera bindings. There we go. That's on the to-do list now. So I will stop switching to the face cam all the time. All right. So thank you, Noble, for pointing that out. Zach Taylor says, I like it, but it killed me trying to hold it for too long. Jay Nugger, oh yeah, the gold ones over the past while have been suffering a little bit, unfortunately. They haven't been doing great, but it looks like that may be turning around now, right? Especially Barrick Gold. It's looking like it's getting very close to $21, and GLD is finally up on the day. This is a very inspiring chart to see. The fact that we're getting back up to where we were about a year ago is very nice, and hopefully we can get back up above 180 on the gold ETF and 2K on gold spot price. That would be nice. So SQQQ, let's take a peek. We're hoping for a profit on SQQQ. We're open profit to $25 right there. So we're hoping for a profit on the market moving down. But people who sold out at the highs probably haven't heard about the earnings. Yeah, maybe not. How about Aurora Cannabis? This is Sarah Patterson, ACB. Aurora Cannabis up 4% on the day. It looks like it's moving up with sympathy. But is holding itself a little bit stronger than Sundial was, right? It moved up pretty big on the first couple of bars of open. Hasn't actually gotten to lows of intraday yet, but up 4% on the day. That's looking good for them. Oh, wow. And an Ohio Senate bill would allow medical marijuana for any patient who can reasonably be expected to benefit from it. So that's cool. That's cool. New Senate bill from Ohio coming out. That's nice. So, Zach Taylor, Rob, look at the 10-day for JNUG. All right, we'll take a peek at that. JNUG. There we go. JNUG 10-day. Okay, yeah, that's a nice one right there. That's nice. What is that? Almost 20-something% profit, it looks like. That's pretty good. So Grim Reefer, or hold up, Nobles before Grim Reefer. So CRLBF. CRLBF. Any thoughts since we're talking pot stocks? Cresco is out of IL, and I can say from personal experience they have a solid product. No, winky face. All right, nice. So Cresco Labs, I've heard of them. I haven't personally touched this stock. It's an over-the-counter, but let's see what they've been doing. Yeah, so same kind of pattern as all the cannabis companies over the past year. Same kind of thing, right? Big downtrend over the past couple of months after having uptrended for a while, and now we're on the rise again. So the real telling factor for all of these cannabis stocks will be if we end up getting more support for them more widely, right? If they can get access to safe banking and all that, if we get some kind of legalization, that's really going to help them move up over the big term, and they're all going to move together. I mean, they always do. If you look, all of the stocks pretty much are moving according to the same pattern, right? This one a little bit less, a little bit of a sharper decline than the others, but relatively, they're all doing pretty much the same thing, right? They're all moving up now. They're all trending up over the past couple of days. So this one I don't know too much about individually, but let me see what it looks like from a company standpoint. I do like to just buy into a lot of the different cannabis stocks because it's tough to say which one's going to take over, but they've got a $2.5 billion market cap. I believe, is this one a U.S. company? It might be. Let me see on Market Watch what it's all about. Let's see. CRLBF. So, engages in business of cultivating medical-grade cannabis, manufacturing medical products derived from cannabis cultivation, and distributing such products to medical or adult-use customers. Headquartered in Chicago, Illinois. Nice. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, if legalization hits, all the U.S. cannabis stocks are going to be doing incredibly well. I think I might have some exposure to this through MSOS, which is an ETF of U.S. cannabis companies, so it's potentially possible that Cresco is in there. I'm hoping it is, right? I like to be well diversified with my cannabis holdings. So what did we miss? Grim Reefer. This is why are weed stocks on the rise. So there's a couple of reasons why weed stocks are on the rise. Most of it is tied to Sundial stock, right? I think at this point most of them are moving up in sympathy with Sundial stock. We will refresh you guys on what the bill is. And before I go over this refresher, I will point out that we currently have 251 viewers and 264 likes. It would be very cool if we could get to 300 likes. We would only need about 36 additional likes. If 36 people could like the stream, we could get to 300. That would be very cool to see. I'm sure there are 36 people out there who have not yet liked the stream, so let's see if we can do it. 36 more people. Let's go. Let's like the stream while I explain the catalysts that are going for Sundial and cannabis in general, right? So first off, Sundial, their earnings call came out, and it was very good. This is the most obvious catalyst that Sundial has going for it, and Sundial is kind of leading the charge with these cannabis companies. A lot of them are moving up in sympathy with Sundial. So Sundial came out with net earnings of $11.3 million, and when you compare this to what they were doing at the same time last year, when they lost $71 million, it's an incredible change, right? So they're finally profitable, they're making some money, and also their revenue from their cannabis segment is $14.4 million, which is a 57% increase over the second quarter. So 57% increase quarter over quarter, nothing to scoff at, right? Very impressive stuff. And one of the most impressive parts of this whole thing is that they have $1.2 billion of cash, marketable securities, and long-term investments as of November 9th. Now, what's really interesting about Sundial, if you look at that, is that their market cap is only about $1.7 billion. It updated. So $1.7 billion market cap, and they have $1.2 billion of cash and marketable securities. So there's relatively little risk, relatively little downside risk in Sundial, right? In terms of the company going bankrupt and losing your money, they have a lot of cash and cash equivalents, and it seems unlikely that they would move down too much, right? So another big thing that's moving Sundial up a ton is that they announced a share repurchase program. So in the past, if you look at the long term, Sundial over the past couple of years has been known to dilute a lot. They've done that to stay afloat, to raise revenue and capital so that they can basically stay in business, right? They've been diluting their shareholders. However, they're now turning a new leaf and starting to repurchase some shares. So they're going to be purchasing up to $100 million of shares, or 102 million shares count-wise, whichever comes first. And they can do that at their discretion, right? So over a while, they have time to do that for. So not today that they're doing it, but that's a good catalyst to look forward to in the future. We might see some nice Sundial bumps moving up on share repurchase news. If that happens sometime over the next couple of weeks, it could be good. And other catalysts for Sundial, let me just refresh these charts a little bit. So other catalysts for Sundial, potential for a short squeeze. They have the potential for a short squeeze. If you look, a lot of shorts are in this thing. And shorts are probably very worried because we are up pretty big on the day. There are 312 million shares being shorted, 15% of the free float, and almost all of the shares available to short have been shorted. 98% of them is Ortex's estimate. So they have been very heavily shorted, and it's likely that shorts will want to start covering at some point, now that there's this good fundamental news coming. And Isabella J. Richard conference call in progress. Nice. Let's see what happens. And Shiny Man, we will look at the DWAC Ortex data real quick, and then I'll continue explaining Sundial. So DWAC Ortex data, let's pull it up right here. 13% of the free float is shorted. 99.77% of the available shares to short are shorted, and it's actually down a little bit today for DWAC. So 3.38 million shares. So decent amount of shares shorted. We could definitely get a squeeze on that if we start moving up big. We certainly could. We certainly could for DWAC. But for Sundial, I will continue explaining the catalysts. Another massive catalyst for Sundial is the fact that they have a ton of open interest call options, both expiring on November 19th, and more importantly for the course of today, November 12th, okay? They have 106,000 open interest call options at the $1 strike price expiring November 12th. So there is really a lot of potential for a big squeeze, a big gamma squeeze in price today if we get up and stay above $1, because that means that people could exercise these contracts, and that institutions who have sold them likely been selling them naked because Sundial was nowhere near $1 until today. They would then have to be buying up a ton of Sundial shares to hand out to those people who got their contracts exercised. So that could really move them up a ton in after hours and whatnot. If we end up closing the day above 1, it would be very cool to see people executing those contracts and really putting some pressure on the institutions. That could lead to more of a short term. Maybe some shorts have to get squeezed out as well. But we'll see. It depends on how much we rise. And right, we would have to get up above $1 for that catalyst to take effect. Now, obviously, if we end below $1, all those contracts will expire worthless, which is unfortunate. But we've still got a ton, 147,000, almost 150,000 open interest call options for November 19th for the $1 strike price. So we then have next week to look forward to as well. And we're basically just waiting to see when can we get and stay above $1. We also want to do that so that we can keep from being delisted. It's been pointed out that they have to stay up there for 10 consecutive trading days to avoid being delisted. So there is some pressure for that. We're hoping DWAC breakout on Zero News. Whoa, yeah. DWAC pumping up huge. Geez, that's awesome. DWAC up big. Let's see. We're up 677 on the day, up 5.7K all time on DWAC. Nice. Cool. So for those of you who don't know, I'm in DWAC as well, right? That's the Trump pump stock. Got 150 shares at an average price of $24, and now it's at 62.14. So we'll see where it goes from here, right? I'm hoping that it will continue pumping up, and there are some good catalysts for it, right? We're just waiting for Trump to speak on it. That could really move the price up. So let's see, what is the news? Is there no news coming out? Nothing happened, but moving up big, back up above $60, threatening to scare some shorts, right? Shorts don't want to see that. So yeah, with Sundial though, there was another big catalyst that we had to talk about, and this is actually a catalyst for all cannabis stocks. So if you like cannabis stocks, you'll be excited to hear this. If you like freedom, you'll be excited to hear this. Republican-led bill to legalize and tax marijuana emerges as alternative to Democratic measures. So really good to see that Republicans are putting forth a cannabis legalization bill. Typically, it's Democrats putting that kind of stuff forward, but now that Republicans are doing it, there's basically no excuse to not get this thing through, right? it seems like both Democrats and Republicans now want to legalize cannabis federally. So there really shouldn't be an excuse other than politicians being politicians to not get this thing pushed through. It's not likely, I think, that we'll get it through by the end of the year because they haven't actually gotten the final version of the bill even out yet. We're expecting that later this month from Nancy Mace, the Republican from South Carolina, who's putting it forward. She's just passing it along between some stakeholders, which I think is their way of saying lobbyists, basically, people who are going to put in their 2 cents on the bill. So not the best that's being circulated around like that, but it is cool that there is a Republican-led marijuana legalization bill coming through, and hopefully Democrats will jump on board with it, right? It seems to have very good stuff in it. Under the bill, cannabis would be federally descheduled and treated in a manner similar to alcohol. A 3.75% excise tax would be imposed on cannabis sales, and the revenue from that tax would support grant programs for community reentry, likely for people who were incarcerated due to cannabis-related crimes that were nonviolent. It would also support law enforcement and small business administration aid for newly licensed cannabis businesses, so good stuff there. The Treasury's Department of Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau would be the chief regulator for marijuana with respect to interstate commerce. The FDA would be limited in its regulatory authority, which is good, at least regarding smokable cannabis. I'm not sure if that involves edibles, right? I'm not sure because obviously there is food in there, and hopefully they'd be making sure that the food wasn't spoiled or whatnot. I don't think it would be, but that's maybe one of the limits that they have, right? Maybe they're limited in some ways, but not others. So, important part right here. If you are already involved in, some cannabis companies, or you like the way your state takes care of cannabis, the legislation would grandfather existing state licensed cannabis operators into the federal system to ensure continued patient access and incentivize participation in the legal market. So really good. They're not trying to mess with states that much, right? They know that a lot of states already have it legalized, and they don't want to make too many changes to the way states are already doing it. So that is a good part that they included there. Now, to prevent youth use, there would be a mandatory 21 age limit for recreational cannabis. I believe it's lower for medical cannabis. I think there might not even be a limit for medical cannabis. We'll see, obviously if it's being used as a medicine, then they would want to give it to anyone who might benefit. But the measure also stipulates that veterans can't face discrimination in federal hiring due to cannabis use. And I thought this was very interesting when I read it the first time. Doctors with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs would be specifically authorized to issue recommendations for medical cannabis to veterans. So very cool stuff. And federal agencies could continue to test for marijuana, right? So they could still discriminate at federal agencies, it looks like. But overall, great cannabis bill looking to be introduced. Hopefully, we will be getting that sometime, but probably not by the end of the year. Politics takes a long time, but hopefully sometime in the near future we'll be getting that. Maybe early in 2022. That's what we're really looking for. That would be awesome to see. I'd be very happy with that. And we've got a ton of votes in this poll. So the poll is, what are you doing with Sundial stock today? 34% of you are buying, 7% of you are selling, 46% of you are holding. That's the group I'm holding right now. And 13% of you are doing nothing. And Prabesh Ramdan, DWAC, 10% up. Yeah, and Zach Taylor, DWAC 63. Well, check again, Zach. It's up to 64 now. So cool stuff. With DWAC. I'm happy to see it. A much-deserved pump in price. All the holders are being rewarded today. We're at 10-day highs. Not quite. We need to get up to almost $70 to be at 10-day highs, but still doing very well, especially how we've been doing over the past couple of days. It's really good to see that we're starting to move up, and this is the biggest green bar that we've had in quite a bit. So we'll see if we can't hold it, if we can't maybe get up to $70. We'll see. Zach Taylor, 95. Yeah, that would be nice. I'd like to see 95 on DWAC. 65. Okay. Yep. 65. All right. Yeah, 65. So Silver says, lots of views and likes there up. We need to get to 25K subscribers by year, 100K by summer. I don't know about 25K by the new year. I'm hoping for 10K by the new year. We'll see. DWAC dipping. But yeah, I'm hoping for 10K by the new year. We'll see though. It's a tall order. That is a tall order. Let me check the analytics, what we've got right now. How are we doing for subscriber wise? So 6,300 38 subscribers is what we're sitting at currently. So if anyone's watching the video and hasn't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do it. Feel free. So Sundial seems to be worth the analyst price of 80 cents. It's over. And yeah, we'll see what the analysts say about Sundial now that the good earnings news has come out for them. So exciting stuff. Let me change the title of this just a bit. Okay, we're adding in DWAC to the list of stocks that we're watching today. We've been watching DWAC a while. I thought today would mostly be a Sundial day, but we will discuss DWAC as well. The 5-minute chart, less stressful. Yeah, the 5-minute chart is less stressful. It still looks pretty darn good. Still looks pretty darn good on the 5-minute chart. I'll keep up the 1 minute just because people like to see what's going by minute by minute. It is a little bit cleaner. But let me edit the description of this video also just real quick. Need to add in some DWAC mentions in here into the description of the video. All right, and we'll replace Tesla. We're not really talking about Tesla today. Tesla, I think, is Elon selling more? I think he said he was going to start selling more. He sold, I think, $5 billion worth of his Tesla shares. Let's actually take a peek. Now that I say we're not looking at Tesla, we'll look at Tesla. So yeah, Tesla down 2% on the day. Not surprising, right? It looks like we might be in for a little bit of a downtrend. Obviously, we rebounded a bit since when Elon sold. It was, I believe, confirmed that he did end up selling about $5 billion of Tesla stock right there. He still has more to go, though, so we'll see. I don't think he wants Tesla to fall that much. He doesn't want to push it down below 1,000 probably, but we'll see if maybe he has to. Maybe he has to do it. So Sundial finally hitting this 82 cent support line that we've got drawn. We can actually move it just exactly to 82 cents right there. But we'll see how that works for us, right? Because we can see that we use it as both resistance in the pre-market, in the after hours, and then as support in the pre-market right here. So 2 times we have hit 82 cents and bounced one way or the other. We'll see if we can't get a nice bounce off today right here. Hopefully we do see a bounce off 82 or near it at least. So FM Furio, he sold more. So Elon has been selling more Tesla stock. PHUN is pumping. We'll take a peek at PHUN. Let's see what they're up to. Yeah, PHUN pumping on this on Trump likely, or not on Trump, but on in sympathy with DWAC. So yeah, we'll take a peek at the Ortex data for sure on PHUN. All right. So let's see. 4.67% of the free float is shorted on PHUN. And a small increase today. It looks like maybe some people maybe even getting in on this pump, right? Some people might see this as a short-term pump, might be wanting to short it on that. Not the highest utilization, 66%, fairly high, right? Fairly high for stock, but not too high, not as high as we've seen. So there is still a decent amount of ammo that shorts have left. But yeah, big volume coming in for PHUN. There must be some kind of news that just came out. Let's see. What could this news be for DWAC? Man, nothing that I'm seeing. Let's see. DWAC stock news over the past 24. Well, it's the past hour. Let's see. So 7 minutes ago. No, just that their calls are more active than puts as shares rally 8%. So that was talked about because of this. Yeah, so nothing, no news that I can find on DWAC stock. No idea why it's bumping. It looks like a trader's move, and it looks like Sundial might be starting to use the 82 cent support. If we can get back up above that, that would be a good thing. We're still up 14% on Sundial, so it is going a little bit how I feared. We will just keep saying it is still up, and then a slightly lower amount than it was up previously, but. Oh, Zach Taylor. Elon only sold his options so far because he had to, from what I understand. Interesting. And closing remarks, says M, with Zach. So we'll see what that has to do for the Sundial stock price. And Sundial needs to be in the U.S. markets. Export Sundial. How many people live in Canada anyways? Most live in Florida. And D-Roan says, Rob, good work. I like you, man. I like you too, D-Roan. Thank you very much. And Silver says the Dukes are awaiting the crop report. Winthrop and Valentine coming. Interesting. So CR says CEO of PHUN was supposedly supposed to be talking at 10 a.m. So at 10, I guess if he started talking then maybe it took him a bit to say something of importance, but it seems to have affected DWAC as well. So not sure. Let's see. 10:33 is when DWAC started. Both of them at the exact same time started moving up. So it's tough to say. At 10:33, they both got big volume and started moving up. So we'll see. Maybe somebody knows something that we don't. Maybe some insiders are buying. And hoping that, whatever good news comes out pumps the thing even more. And it looks like 82 cents is starting to act as a little support for us. Very nice. Not exactly, right? We did get down to 81.2 cents, but still, I count this as the 82 cent support. If we do end up bouncing off of it, I'm going to count that as a win. So Sundial is the only stock. And the rest of my holdings are in crypto, says Abstract. Wow. That is interesting. I mean, crypto's, it's been doing good lately. So you can't argue with that. It's been doing good. So good for you, man. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I'm not too heavily in crypto. I have some Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and Shiba Inu. And they've all made money so far. So I'm not complaining about it. It seems like everything in the crypto space makes money. I can hardly think of a time. A couple of years ago, I got involved in crypto. Back in 2017, during the initial pump, I thought, let me buy some. And back at that time, it was only a couple $100 of, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and maybe some Ethereum. I don't remember. But I did end up buying some cryptos back then, and that's the only time that I lost money on crypto. They moved down from the peaks of 2017 when Bitcoin was at 19,000. It moved down, and I ended up selling for like a 50% loss, thinking it was a scam, but then getting back in when Bitcoin was around 15,000. So I saw that Bitcoin was pumping up. I saw it at 15,000. I thought, this could really go sky high, and got some Ethereum too when it was around 2,000. Got Dogecoin when it was at fractions of a cent. So really lucky buy on Dogecoin. And Shiba Inu, it's still at fractions of a cent, but it's many fractions of a cent higher than where I bought it at. So do you think Sundial will hit $1? I'm hopeful. Though over the course of the day, it looks like we have faded away. There's always the chance, though, that in maybe power hour or just midday, you never know when you're going to see something crazy like what we just saw with DWAC on no news. Just a massive spike up. We could see a massive spike up, just a ton of volume, a ton of buying on Sundial stock. Maybe some shorts are looking at it, deciding that they want to cover with it. Who knows? But we could see good stuff with Sundial stock later today. Though, just if we base this off of what we would expect from normal trading activity, it would have to trend up quite a ways to get up to $1. At this point, unfortunately, since it has fallen a bit, it looked a lot more promising when we were at 90 cents before we'd moved down to 82. Looking at this 1 year chart, it would be a long way that it has to go all the way down from here to here. So we're looking at quite a ways that it has to change on this 1 day chart. Typically we don't see wicks that are this big on Sundial. I mean, sometimes we do. Oftentimes, though, they're downwards facing, like they're upwards wicks, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But crypto without metals backing scares me. And so that's what Silver says. Afraid of lockouts from logging in when big moves happen. And so MD Shabbat Hassan says, hey, do you have any idea about Shiryo Inu, which is new platform? Should we invest? I'm not sure. I haven't heard of that one. Shiryo Inu. I've heard of Floki Inu. But I can't say I've heard of Shiryo Inu, so I don't know about that one. I'll look at the data on CoinMarketCap, and we'll see. Maybe there's something for it. Inu. Let's see. Shiryo Inu. So this one, it looks like, is maybe a little bit of a scam almost. It looks very new. It's just came out. Might be just trying to raise some hype. I don't even know where you can buy this thing, so I'm not too sure if I'd get in on it. But MD. So Alejandro says, did Sundial do their live conference call? I think they're either doing it right now or they're done with it. So, yeah, they're doing it right now, I believe. M is keeping us updated. Nope, Feb 7th. Oh, sorry, that's the due date for compliance. Okay. So M says, Zach, stay focused. And then LPZ says November 22 is the due date for compliance of $1, right? And M says, nope, Feb 7th is the day. Listen for call. Listen to the call. All right. Where is the call, man? I've tried to find the call. Sundial earnings call live. Let's see if we can't find that. So, the news. I bet if we had the Hungry Bull app, we could listen to it. Let me see. Hungry Bull, that's an app that some big YouTubers made. Financial Education, Jeremy, and Graham Stephan, I think, is also involved in it. But Hungry Bull, I think they let you listen to conference calls live. I'm not going to bother downloading it right now, though. Okay, so FM Furio, not investment advice or anything or advisor, but I'm accumulating Ripple XRP. You can buy it on Uphold. It is now number 1 in the UK over Bit and ETH. Trans increased 25x once out of court with SEC. It will spike. Yeah, I've heard of Ripple. I've heard of XRP. Let's see what they're doing right now, how they're doing. So they're currently down over the past 24 hours, about 2%. Up 2% over the past 7 days, $55 billion market cap. We can pull it up right here. XRP. So, $1.17 per coin. All right, let's see what the chart looks like on this, actually. I'm curious. Over the past year, they've been doing decent. They've been doing pretty well over the past year. All the cryptos have been doing pretty well over the past year. So, good stuff. Good stuff on XRP. Yeah, and Zach Taylor says, Rob, looks like you're going to need a spam moderator soon. I certainly will. I've tried moderating comments, but I don't even think I have the power to do it. Unless I just haven't. Maybe I can see in the participants. Oh, I can, but I don't know how to moderate from my screen right here. So please don't spam the chat if you're a bot or something. Because I do not know how to moderate yet. So I will learn that. Most are scams. The only new meme I believe is Dinger. I've heard of Dinger token, D-Roan, yep. And Sundial just guaranteed a NASDAQ compliance, said Nathan. How did they do that? How did they do it? So, Mark is also pumping. Can you look at the chart for us? I will take a peek at the Mark chart. Oh, yeah, it looks like DWAC is starting to move back up, back above 63. We'll take a peek at Mark right here, or we'll pull up Mark right over Tesla, actually. It looks like, yeah, a nice hold at 82 cents is what we're seeing on Sundial. So, Mark, yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a spike up. We're up 2.8% on the day. Not as significant as DWAC or PHUN. PHUN is actually the biggest spike up, 13% on the day. DWAC 8%. That's good stuff. Okay. So we're getting a lot of comments, and now we're missing a lot of comments too. So let's try to go through them somewhat in order. So Insomnia, SNDL, no worries. We have next week and beyond for FOMO to build. From third Q of 2021, 57% increase from 2020. Third quarter, great fundamental change per report on earnings, 82% buy resistance. Yep, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the 82 support right here. Hopefully, we will continue to bounce off of it. Maybe start making a move up towards 90 cents. I would be very happy if we close the day above 90 cents, and even happier if we close it above $1. It'll be a tough one though to get back above $1 at this point. We'll see though. We could see some big green bars coming in later today. Abstract says I own a little bit of Dogelon Mars, kind of a YOLO on that one. Yeah, a little bit of YOLO. A lot of cryptos are YOLO, but they've certainly been printing money lately, so that's good. And Privacy Matters, XRP was created for the founders to dump Dior. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's possible. That might be what the lawsuit has to do with. So FM Furio, Shabbat, hang tough on AMC. We'll post 1 billion top line Q4. Hedge funds redemptions will begin January 1. Looking to short cover rally there. Let me check. Let me put up DWAC right here over PHUN real quick and see what AMC is up to. Because I've not checked AMC. So AMC is up 0.28% on the day, getting bounced off of 40 earlier today. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite hold above it. We'll see. We'll see what happens, right? Their earnings ended up dumping them. So it's not looking great for AMC at the moment, but it could be worse. It could be worse. We're still relatively close to 40, so there is still hope that we could get back up above, right, if we start playing with it again today. And Soto says, let's buy the dip in DWAC. Not much of a dip. It's actually a bit of a pump, but we'll pull that back up over here and get PHUN going in the bottom right. Yep, so DWAC and PHUN both doing pretty well on both of those. It's looking good for them, and Sundial is also starting to trend up. Really great. So M says, analysts need to readjust price target. They had earnings in the last 3 months, but that beat analyst projections for all of 2022. I'm guessing you're talking about Sundial. Yeah, analysts certainly do need to start giving Sundial some buy ratings. They need to give them some buy ratings and some big price targets. I'm hoping that they continue to move up. So PaySafe is trying to bounce, says Nicholas Morello, and Seashells and Dreams says breakout. So let's take a look at PaySafe, PSFE. They've been doing good, it looks like. Yeah, good stuff on PaySafe. Good stuff on PaySafe. Nice little bounce up, 4% on the day, trying to get back up. Unlikely that they'll be able to get back up to their highs, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. So, guys, I'll be right back. I need to refill my water. Quick bathroom break right here. So if you guys could like the video while I'm gone, that would be very appreciated. If you just hit the like button, we're at 315 likes. I'm curious what we'll be at when I get back. I'll be back in just a minute. So sit tight. I'll be right back. Hold on just a sec. All right, and we're back. Welcome back to me, I suppose. And let's see what people have been saying in the comments while I've been gone. So, Nicholas Morello, dab break, everyone. All right. And Coco's finally running Def Long on Coco. Nice, nice, nice. So, Sundial should rebound to higher highs. Yeah, I'm hopeful. Now, guys, here's a little deal I'm proposing for you all. I'm thinking about getting into a little Sundial position on this trading account, right? I'm thinking about buying up some shares. So we have 334 likes. If we can get to 350 likes in the next couple of minutes, I'll buy a couple thousand to Sundial. I'll buy 2,000 to Sundial shares as long as we're still below 84 cents, right? I think it's looking like a good bounce off of 82. So if we can get to 350 likes in the next couple of minutes, I'll buy 2,000 Sundial shares live right here. So if you guys are interested in that, let's do it. Let's do it quick, too, because we're starting to move up. 342 likes. We only need 8 more to buy 2,000 shares of Sundial live. We're getting very close. 345. We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to get in below 84 cents. Let's go. 348 likes. We're very close. We're very close. I should start readying to buy this thing. Let's 2,000. That looks good. $350 there. We did it, guys. We did it. We're going to get in on Sundial now. So all right, let's turn this actually into the main screen so we can see Sundial and actually place this order correctly. All right, so active trader. Let's go for. Let's see if we can't get 2,000 shares at 83.6. That looks like a good buy right there. So send in that order. And it just executed. Nice. So we're already up 2 cents on the position. And now we'll go back to the 4-stock view right there. So let me pull up what we had going on before. SNDL, QQQ, we don't need that. We want Tilray. All right. So I'm excited. I'm glad that you guys went in on that because I wanted to buy some Sundial anyways. I was looking at the pattern. It looked too good. The chance that we could get a bounce off of 82. So who knows how long we'll be holding this trade for. You know, if we get above 90, that might be a nice profit. I'm still going to be holding the 12,000 shares I got in the Robinhood for the long term, but we'll see when we sell that. And NJ, $2 donation. Thank you very much. $2 super chat, I should say. Let me take another picture. I've been taking pictures of all these super chats today because this is the first day that I actually have them available. And you guys have certainly been making use of them. So thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. Never thought I'd be getting super chats, right? Never thought I'd be a streamer. Used to watch some streamers back in the day. To see them getting donations and all that. It was cool. It's cool. So I appreciate that a lot. So let's see. NJ also says if we can make it to 380 likes, I'll double down on those 2K shares of Sundial. Make it to 380. 380 what? If we can make it to 380. Oh, 380 likes. Oh, 380 likes. Yeah, okay, so NJ's offering, if we can get the video to 380 likes, he'll double down. He'll buy 2,000 shares of Sundial. So we're only 25 likes away. So, you know, if you guys want some more shares of Sundial to get bought up, you should like the video a little bit more. Only 25 people need to like it to get 2,000 more shares removed from this free float right here. So not a bad deal. Not a bad deal, NJ. Thank you very much for contributing to that. Let's see. In Grim Reaper says, Zach Taylor, how will that affect Starbucks? And Zach Taylor actually said something about coffee, which I missed because I was pumping Sundial. But let's see. I was pumping the likes on the video too. He said something about coffee hitting all-time highs of 7 years or something. Coffee prices are high. What did it? Where was it? All right. Coffee hits 7-year high as global supply threats worsen. Yeah, that's good stuff. You know, that only means rising coffee prices. So. Good stuff there. So we've got Sundial, we've got Tilray. Let's take a peek at DWAC. Pull that back up. Ooh, it's taking a little bit of a tumble. It's still above 60, which is good. That's where we want it. We want it above 60. So 372 likes. We're getting very close. NJ, we're getting very close. We just need 8 more likes before some of those shares get bought up. And then what do we want on this? PHUN? Pull up PHUN. Nice. All right, there we go. So PHUN doing decently. Kind of following the same pattern that DWAC is, though, also falling down a little bit. We'll see. And Oscar Voss says, I'll buy 10K shares if we get 400 likes. And Fakey says, Rob, aren't you holding SBEA? Yes, I am. I'm currently in SBA. Got 100 shares in this account and 110 in my Robinhood. So yeah, I got a couple of shares in a couple of different brokerages, and I'll be buying up some more when they turn into via RCC. I'm just buying a little bit of SBA now. I want to see how they react to the actual merger. So when they're BRCC, and especially when options are tradable, I'll be buying up some shares then. But yeah, I do currently have some. So we're getting very close. Only 2 more likes are necessary before NJ buys up 2,000 shares of Sundial. We're getting very close. So I'm holding 10.8 average, says Nicholas Morello. Near term, I think. So is that SBA? SBA, yeah. SBA has been moving down. Has been getting some pain lately, right? We have been moving down with SBA. I'm not too worried about it, though. I think this one is going to do great over the long term. This is definitely a long-term play, not a little trade for me. When will they become that? Do you know when? I don't know the exact date, but it is soon, I believe. Let's see. SBA to BRCC. Let's see. Is expected to close during the first quarter of 2022. So that's all we know. So in the next couple of months, they'll be becoming BRCC. So we'll see what happens with them then. And Frizzon Espresso says, that's my lane of coffee. I can tell by the name. What's happening to DWAC? Plus 9%. DWAC, well, we were looking at it, and it looks like, I mean, we looked, but there is no news on DWAC. This is down under NC. So there's no news on it. There's no news on PHUN also, which is up over 9%, or up over 8% at this point. It was up over 13% at one point. But there's no news, it looks like. It's just a trader's move, which is good. You know, we're excited to see it. Let me edit the title. Let me just edit this real quick and hopefully not mess up the cams too much. There we go. Okay, so 379 likes, close enough, 40% before it moves up. Yeah, for real. But there we go. Now we're at 387 likes, so we just got a big boost right there. So, Oscar Voss, almost 12 more, says Oscar Voss. We're getting close. Yeah, we just need a couple more to get to 400. Oscar Voss is going to buy 10K Sundial shares when we get to 400 likes, guys. So just 12 more likes and another 10K Sundial shares will be getting bought up by Oscar Voss. Looks like we've taken a bit of a dip. I'm down $12 on my entrance. I wasn't doing it the most strategically. I kind of just bought in when we hit the like count that we requested. So not too worried, though. I think that 82 cents could hold very well for Sundial. So if it doesn't, even if it doesn't, I'm happy to hold this over the next couple of days and weeks and months, or over the long term, right? This account I do tend to keep more shorter term stuff in, but we'll see how it does. So Insomnia, keep holding up buy on 82 cent limit. Order the main resistance support 11 cent over yesterday. Yeah. So we are up about 11 cents. So for where we were yesterday, yes. And the fact that we did have a nice bounce to the downside, actually, right? We used it as resistance, 82 cents in the after hours yesterday. And we also used it as support in the pre-market today. So I think that we could certainly see a nice bounce off of 82 cents. Maybe we'll stagnate there for a bit. But we'll see. So what other company has $1 billion in cash and no debt, says Abstract? Exactly. And the current valuation for Sundial puts it at a $1.7 billion market cap. So $1 billion of that, you're just buying into cash. It seems so safe. This is the first time I've averaged upon 3 stocks in one day, says NJ. Nice. And Silver says, I like CGC. So Canopy, let's see Canopy. Yeah, I like CGC also. I'm holding some Canopy in the Robinhood. But yeah, you know, it's followed the same pattern that all the cannabis stocks have followed, right? It had its big pump, and then it was dipping, and now it's looking like it might start an uptrend. So this is an exciting time to be a cannabis stock investor. All right, guys, and we've got 392 likes. I know we're really pushing at this point, right? We have far more likes than viewers. But once again, Oscar Voss says that at 400 likes, if we can get there, you will be buying 10,000 shares of Sundial. So if you want to see it happen, then feel free to contribute if you haven't liked the stream yet. And Google Sundial, they reported their earnings to C Cortez. Yeah, we've looked at the Sundial earnings quite a bit, but let's see if there's something new that popped up. No, it looks like, yeah, I mean, we've looked at their earnings. I'll pull it up, though. So their third quarter earnings came out right here. This is the most compelling catalyst for those of you who are new to the stream, and we got to 401 likes. Nice. Okay, got limit 10,000 at 82.99. Nice. And okay, so the catalyst, right? We're talking about Sundial, their earnings. Great earnings news. $11.3 million of net earnings for the third quarter compared to a $71 million loss last year at the same time. So definitely improving year over year for sure. Doing massive, changing their numbers massively, right? From the downside to the upside. Really good to see. Net revenue from cannabis segment, $14 million in revenue. So that's a 57% increase quarter over quarter. Good stuff there. And once again, this is what we've been talking about, $1.2 billion in cash as of November 9. And that's cash, marketable securities, and long-term investments. $571 million is literally just cash. And because of this, because they have so much cash, they've announced a share repurchase program where they will repurchase up to $100 million of its outstanding common shares, of Sundial common shares, right? So Noble H is impressed by Oscar's purchase. Very nice, Oscar, also. Yeah, very nice. But you must have owned Sundial already at this point if you're buying that much. So you probably have more Sundial than I do at this point. Very nice. Now, let's see. The stipulations on this share repurchase program. So either $100 million worth of stock or 102.8 million shares, whichever comes first, is what they're allowed to buy back. That represents about 5% of the free float. So that is also really good news for Sundial. The fact that they are starting to buy back shares instead of diluting really speaks to the strength of the company and is probably going to make it look a lot better in institutions' eyes, because that's been a big complaint. A big complaint that institutions have had about Sundial, one of the main reasons why they've decided to short it. So we'll see what happens with the short interest. The short interest on Sundial, we can take a peek at, see if it's changed that much. My guess is, institutions will probably start wanting to get out of the short, of their short positions, probably, hopefully. That's the hope, at least, right? So Sundial short share change up 0.5% today. A lot of shares have probably changed hands, right? Some shorts have probably exited, some are probably entering because it did spike up quite a bit in price, and they've made some profits in the short term if they were shorting it, above 90 cents or whatever. But we'll see what happens over the long term, because there are over 300 million shares short on Sundial. So it's my expectation that we could see a big move up in Sundial, especially by the end of the day. It's looking less and less likely the longer we stay below $1, and just don't move up. But I should point out to those of you who are new to the stream, we have 106,000 open interest call options for the November 12th strike date today, all right, at $1 strike price. So if we can get up to above $1, then a lot of those institutions that were selling those contracts would be in the money, right? Those contracts would be in the money. They'd have to buy up Sundial shares, a whole lot of Sundial shares. But, it's looking unlikely to happen at this point. The fact that we're at 82 cents and aren't moving up yet, maybe we could see some big green bars, maybe some whale is going to be tricky and start moving in big on Sundial towards the end of the day and try to squeeze out those institutions, but we'll see. It's looking less likely, but we've still got almost 150,000 at the November 19th strike date. So it's still looking good there. So, Jason Cropper, can you review BTB after this and what is causing it to run today? BTB. Take a peek at that. So up 38%. Big Brother LTD. BTB. Let's take a peek at it. Broadridge Financial Solutions. So let's see what their market cap's at right now. $100 million market cap, so an easy one to move. Very little short interest on it, right? And pretty much no shorts. It's increased slightly today, but barely. Shorts are not interested in this. 1% of the free float is shorted. 1.59 million shares. So Is this the right stuff? No, this is BR. My bad. This is BR, not BTB. Big Brother Limited. Now let's take a peek. Okay, so still pretty low short interest as a percentage of the free float, but pretty heavily shorted in terms of what's possible. 93% utilization and over a day to cover. So decent amount of short squeeze potential, but not great. The fact that we're moving up 40% is actually pretty good. Wow, yeah. So this is moving up well. Let's see, over the past couple of days, ever since the 8th, it looks like we've been getting some kind of news. So the regained NASDAQ compliance listing, all right. And this might just be a trader's move. It might just, I don't know if there is news that goes along with this. They didn't have an earnings call or anything. Looks like they just got over $1 and started running on that news. So let's see. Let's see what BTB stock, if there's any news on it. So it doesn't look like it, but they're headquartered in China. So Big Brother Ltd, a good name for them if they're headquartered in China. So Sundial plus 500 at 75, been holding and building since February. Nice roll on B. Nice. And Oscar Voss, can you check the shorts on BTU? I can check the shorts on BTU. So that's Peabody Energy Corporation, it looks like. All right. So the shorts on BTU decreasing today, down 2.91%. 3 million shares short, which represents about 3.33% of the free float. So it looks like they've got 100 million shares as a float and 2.33% utilization on what's available to short. So not many shorts are interested in BTU, Oscar. That's good to see. That means it's most likely a somewhat reliable company. BTU, Peabody Energy. Let's see. So it's been trending down over the past 30 days. Been doing good over the past year. Yeah. I wouldn't want to short this one either. This looks scary. So good stuff. Good stuff. If Sundial goes over $1 in aftermarket, will the calls be in the money? Yeah. So the calls, I think, go through the entire trading day, or not just the trading day, but the entire all of the market, right? So I think that in after hours, yes, they are still available to be in the money. You can still exercise on them, and you certainly would want to, right? It's up to you to actually exercise them, though. So if, we pump up to $1.05 at, $5.55 before the markets close, then, if you don't look at it, then you're not going to know, and you're not going to be able to exercise them. Maybe your broker will automatically exercise them or something. Who knows? But it'll probably be up to you to look at them. And yes, it does have effect in after hours. Sometimes people get messed up. They get screwed if they have sold call options and they look at the stock at the end of the day and it's closed, below their strike price, and they're happy that they don't have to hand over their shares, and then the stock moves up and they get screwed on those call options. So Sundial, good thing I stayed out, or this would really be crashing. Yeah, for sure. That does seem to be the way it is a lot of the time. Yeah, when people buy into stocks, of course I bought this and now it's moving down a little bit. Bought in around, let's see, right there or something. So we're down $31. So not honestly, this isn't the largest position that we have in Sundial, but we've got more in the main account, and I'm more interested to see what we do over the course of hours than minutes, right? I'm not betting that we'll pump up to here to 84 over the next 10 minutes and then back down to 82. That's not what the game I'm trying to play right now. I'm thinking that over the next couple of days and weeks, we'll probably be trending up on fundamental news. I think that as maybe some institutions start to buy up some shares, maybe. Purchase 20,000 shares, cost of shares 82 cents. Next week will be phenomenal or beyond. No worries, the company's going into the future. Yeah, I think that we're going to probably be looking at a great week next week. I hope, at least. Unfortunately, if you look back, we have been screwed many times with Sundial. There have been a bunch of fake pump-ups that we thought may have been the one. This is the most promising by far. The fact that we've already dropped this much and we're still up 13.65% on the day is really good. But honestly, I would have liked to see us get and stay above 90 cents. 80 cents is fine. 80 cents is fine. But I would have liked to be moving up above 90. And Oscar Voss, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. And I'm taking pictures of all these guys because this is very cool stuff. Never thought today would be the day that I would be getting super chats. I honestly accidentally enabled them. Yesterday I was looking at the YouTube studio and I was looking at just the super chats because I thought you couldn't do those until 10,000 subs. And I ended up clicking get started, just being like, what the heck is this? And then I realized, I'm already eligible for it. I guess they changed their requirements. So Kitchener Leslie, why aren't you looking at BENE more closely? Well, we'll take a peek at BENE. They're up 1% on the day. All right. And it looks like this is just another one of the Trump pumps. It looks like it's moved up according to a very similar pattern. Let's see what the market cap on BENE is. Let's see. BENE market cap. Okay, BENE. All right. So Benersiri Capital Acquisition Corp. Market cap of $150 million. I haven't looked at this one too closely. I've mostly focused on DWAC, PHUN, MARK. BENE, also another Trump pump stock, right? So there's the potential for it to, move up with these other Trump pump stocks. But there's only so many, right? There's only so many that I want to look at. This one maybe has some potential, but it seems to just be following the same kind of movements. It's almost like the crypto markets, how they all have, they all kind of follow the same patterns. It's like you only need to be involved in so many and keep up with them before you have some exposure to it. So I'm already well exposed to the Trump pump. DWC holding 60 and still looking strong on the day. So weird. Yeah, let's see. So that's good. It's up at 61 right now, and they are holding 60 very well. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, really strange though that we just got a big pump up. Not going to complain about it though. But Kitchener Leslie, yeah, I will, you know, if you'd like, I'll pull up BENE. We can pull it up over Tilray, which doesn't seem to be doing too much. We can watch DWAC, PHUN, and BENE. They are following, you know, similar patterns once again. BENE just seems like a pretty small market cap and pretty illiquid. Unfortunately, you see a lot of these bars that aren't even bars. They're just little dashes. So maybe that's... I just think that initially I didn't look at it as closely because it was just a less well-known company. So BNE is more closely tied than PHUN or Mark. Interesting. Let's see. Let's look into this. BNE stock. So BNE, Breast Capital Acquisition Corp. Oh, okay. Okay, so see this Reuters article. BNE. Oh, okay. So they have a stake in DWAC. I see. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess if that's the case, I mean, that's interesting, but I'd rather just buy DWAC, right, and get direct exposure to something that's pretty liquid. You know, but BENE may have its benefits, right? It is a lower market cap, and potentially there could be a big pump up in price from it. Patrick Orlando is involved in both. Been telling you for days. Yeah, see, I'm not good with these names. Patrick Orlando is that the founder of DWAC, Patrick Orlando? I think I covered him. I think he, made the CEO of DWAC. Yep. That's it. So, also Zach Taylor says he's holding a ton of physical silver and lead, just in case. Lead for bullets? I hope not. I don't know if they still make bullets out of lead? I guess lead is just a good investment to have potentially. I don't know. I've not thought of holding lead. Well, what's the price of lead? I'm curious. What's the spot price of lead? So it looks like $2,385 per ton. Got to hold a lot of lead. Got to hold a lot of lead. And bingo, says Zach Taylor. Yeah, nice. Christian Leslie, Investors Place said BENE is a buy yesterday. Nice. And Sundial making support. Yep. Hopefully getting back up above 82 cents per share. That would be nice to see. That would be very good. And yes, bullets, says Zach. Yep. Yep. I mean, yeah, if you have a forge, or I don't know what you need necessarily, but that could be good. That could be good. I guess maybe you wouldn't be making them yourselves. Maybe you're thinking we'll need some more bullets in the world, and you might sell the lead to a bullet company. Maybe that's it. Lead is heavy, dude, says yeah. It certainly seems like you'd need a lot, but it could be a valuable one. Though I believe that they started making bullets out of other materials during the Civil War, maybe. I think that's why they stopped using some kind of metal in a penny or a nickel or something like that. So maybe there are alternatives to lead. But Silver says it flies fast, and Lightning Ammo says yep. I don't know. There might be alternatives to lead for bullets. There might be. I'm not sure though. I don't know too much about bullet composition, right? But yeah, lead could be a good investment. Could be. All right, and it looks like the stream is doing pretty well. We've got 412 likes. I'm scared to ask to bump that up. Maybe we could get to 425. I don't want to ask anymore. You know, we've asked for quite a bit. 400 likes is very significant, especially for this channel. We've been doing very well, and it's good to see. Let's see what's the subscriber count on the channel. I'm curious. What are we sitting at right now? So 6,377. Nice. So we did very well. And Lucia Sundial will hit 40 bucks. What's your take? Says NDN8SHN. I don't know about 40 bucks. Like I said, in the World War II, it was World War II in copper. Says Abstract. Nice. Yep. Something like that. So Lucia Sundial will hit 40 bucks. What's your take? 40 bucks is pretty expensive. Pretty expensive at 40 bucks. We'd be looking at a very large market cap at that point. Let's see what the market cap would be. So currently, at 82 cents, we're sitting at a $1.6 billion market cap. So that's essentially just Let's do the quick math on this. So if we 50x'd about, that would be about taking us to $40. If we 50x, so 50 times the market cap, $80 billion market cap, I don't know. We might be able to, maybe, but it would have to have like a big movement behind it like Dogecoin did, because that's about where we got with Dogecoin. Now, obviously, Sundial's a real company, but it might get stopped out before. So who knows with Sundial? I don't think $40, not in the short term at least. I think over the long term, the long term, potentially $40. Why not? As they really grow as a company over years and years and years. But over the short term, I think $2 to $3, maybe $4 is a more accurate target for what we should be looking at over the short term. If we do get some kind of pump based off of a squeeze, and over the long term, I could see us getting back up over maybe to all-time highs, right? Over a longer term time frame, I could see that happening, especially off legalization news. That could pump us up quite a bit. Maybe not to $40, but maybe to 10, maybe to 20. So John Nicely bought 100 calls this morning, $1 strike for December 17th, instantly jumped to 25%. Now I'm down 35%. Come on. Yeah, that's how options are. Unfortunately. So Zach Taylor says, very unusual day for DWAC. Something's happening that we don't yet know about. Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? We did just move up on big volume. No news that we can see. But we hit highs of 65 and now we're around 61. So it's nothing to complain about. I'm happy with it. I'm happy that we are where we are. We're looking good on DWAC. I'm not going to complain about this. And Glow Rods from Demolition Man. What's your boggle, citizen? It sounds like a Fallout kind of thing. So SPAC stocks, be very careful. If you're buying DWAC, buy warrants, DWACW. Yeah, so we've talked about the warrants on the channel. And if you buy the warrants, it looks like you're still getting some intrinsic value in there, right? Because the company, if you actually got to execute the warrants today, then you'd be buying the company for, if you just bought the warrants and they executed today, you'd be paying, if this is 33, then you'd be paying 44.50 about for the company. So definitely cheaper than where DWAC is at 60. So looks like we're heading to our next support line. Says Crisscross on Sundial. I assume you're talking about at 78 cents. Looks like we're staying above 82. At least on my chart, it looks like we are. And Jason Cropper, Sundial is starting to curl. I think /hope this is the bottom for support. Yeah, I think 82 cents might have done it for us, right around there. Obviously not. We didn't pick the bottom exactly, but it's tough to do, to pick exactly. But 82 cents. We have had this line drawn for quite a while, you guys will remember, so we'll see. It might work. It might work out for us. And Farad Ali, can you look into the OBL group, please? I will take a peek at them. I will take a peek at OBL group. OBL, I don't know. Let's look at OLB. My bad. OLB group. There we go. Okay, so up 0.47% of the day. On the day, I should say. OLB. Let's see what their market cap is. It looks like it might be a tiny one. $68 million. Let's see if they've got any kind of information on what this company does online in an easy to find place. Not on Google. Let's see if MarketWatch has it for us. Hopefully. I mean, $68 million, under $100 million. A lot of these companies don't have descriptions, unfortunately. And then it's tough to decide what they're likely to do in the future. So, okay, here we go. OLB Group engages in the provision of integrated business solutions and payment facilitator verticals. The firm offers solutions for manufacturers, retailers, and single-store retailers. It focuses on providing merchants with products and services through its various online platforms, including financial and transaction processing services and support for crowdfunding and other capital-raising initiatives. Okay, so it's going to be tough to say how they'll be doing in the future, right? They're relatively small. That seems like a big potential market, though, so they could certainly rise in market cap quite a bit. But let's look at the technicals for a second. It looks like they bottom out around 350, and then every now and then they pump. They're currently on a little pump and are moving down at the moment. Tough to say. Above $7, they do tend to get pushed down pretty quickly, so we are near the peak of that, but we have just gotten big volume. So something must have happened on the 2nd. Let's see what that was. Set to process MasterCard cryptocurrency. Okay, so it looks like they might start rising with crypto. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with OLB as Bitcoin potentially rises. If they're tied to crypto, oftentimes these things just rise off the hype. And if crypto's making all-time highs and this is tied to crypto payments, then no reason not to think it would rise as well. So let's see. We've got a couple of things. Nicholas Morelos says, Rob's the people's trader. I appreciate that. I try. And Oscar Voss, go Sundial. Go Sundial. Yep, getting back up above 82. I like it. And Christopher Wong says, what's going on with Phunware? A small pump today. Yeah, PHUN doing good. Alongside DWAC. We'll pull up DWAC here. We lost DWAC for a second, but DWAC moving up. Hit highs of 65, and there is no news associated with this. We've looked everywhere on Yahoo, Google. TD Ameritrade had no news, so there's no news about why they made this move. It's just a trader's move, it looks like. And PHUN followed suit, or happened at the exact same time. So who's to say which one caused it? Most likely DWAC. But that's what's going on. So no news on why the pump happened. But let's see. Stacks 200T TV. You look like the guy from that 70s show. Which guy are you talking about? Which guy from that 70s show? I watched it. I don't know which guy I look like, though. There's a couple guys in there. Eric Foreman, are you talking about Eric? We'll pull up a picture. We'll see if Eric... Maybe I do look a little bit like Eric, come to think of it. That's good. Pull up this. So let's see if we can zoom in, actually. I don't know if you can show everything on Google, if stuff is copyright or whatnot. In fact, let's not even show this image of Eric Foreman. I'm not sure what you can show on Google, if you can just show Google images or whatnot. I think some of them might be copyright. So Abstract says, all right, Rob, thanks for the stream. Got to get out of here. All right, man. Have a good day. Have a good one. See you later. Hopefully on Monday. Kitchen Leslie, you say Phunware. I say Funware. Let's call the whole thing off. Yeah, I do say Phunware, but Funware could be Funware. I'll have to. Actually, I'm curious. Maybe there's a pronunciation online. So let's see.
Funware.
Funware. You're right about that. All right, it's Funware. So luckily, general Sundial question. Short sales avail is close to nil. How come interest went 10% down to 7%, says luckily. Let's take a look at Sundial short interest. I'm not aware of a massive change to it, but I haven't looked. So where are you getting that? Let me see what it looks like on Market Watch, if that might be it. No. So Sundial, I'm looking at the Ortex data, and currently, short interest is at 15% of the free float, at least on Ortex, that's what it's saying, and as of today, it's changed up 0.55%. So I'm not sure. I'll be back soon. Turned on notifications. All right, I appreciate it, Abstract. I'll see you. All right, in Sundial, is there more buys or sells? Well, I mean, minute by minute, that changes, and that's what affects the price. So Zach Taylor, now do Reuters pronunciation. All right, we'll look at the Reuters pronunciation. I have been curious about that. I just say Reuters, but... oh, boy. Something tells me this isn't going to sound how we thought.
Reuters.
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 So that's how you say it. Reuters. Reuters. Reuters.
Reuters.
All right. Well, now we know. Now we know that's how you say Reuters. Okay. Wouldn't have guessed. But we've got... All right. We're getting close to the end of the stream, so I will read off this poll data. We've got 580 votes. And before I do that, I will read the super chat from ND8 or NDN8SN. Oh, I will get this right. From NDN8SHN. $4.99 super chat. Appreciate it. Great info. Have you heard that many apes are going in big on Sundial once AMC hits? Many apes are already in, but more are coming. I do know that the apes and Sundial are allied. And first of all, let me take a picture of that. I appreciate the super chat, man. And over the past year, you can see on the chart, actually, that Sundial, I believe it was pumping around the first or second GameStop. Let's see, AMC. When did it first start pumping? About a year ago. So, yeah, very similar time. So you can actually see a kind of similar pattern, right? AMC pumped. Maybe some people collected some profits near the end of January. And then near beginning of February, Sundial was pumping. It actually started pumping around when AMC pumped. So it might be a similar situation that we look at, right? As people take some profits off of AMC, if AMC hits big, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of apes going into Sundial. I know there was a call to get it to 420 in the past, and that's what we hit, although it doesn't show it on the chart, on the daily chart at least. If you had a chart that could look at the minute-by-minute action, you would see we got, I think, well above $4.20 actually. But on the daily chart, it looks like we hit 396. So with Sundial, yeah, I would not be surprised to see some apes coming in. If AMC hits, I would be excited for that. I mean, we watch AMC on the streams every now and then. We'll see if we can't get back up above $40. It looks like we got bounced off today, but that would be good to see. Yeah, always happy for more people coming into the Sundial. All right, and luckily it says from Fintel, borrowing interest, not short interest. Oh, okay, yeah, the borrowing interest. Yeah. Gotcha, from Fintel too. And also, some of these sites have different calculations and whatnot, get their data from different places. They all have slight variations. They're just estimates. So crisscross, I predict more downtrend until after hours, then a spike up to 95 cents. We could see it. I would be excited to see Sundial moving up in after hours or in power hour. Zach Taylor says, Rob, you're making my mornings great again. Again, thank you. Sure thing, Zach. You're making my mornings great, and often my evenings when I get those emails from you about interesting stuff, I will look at the Obi Sawaka, whatever it is, indicator at some time this weekend. I'm a little busy today. Got a lot to take care of today, actually, so I should probably be ending the stream. This already went longer than I anticipated it would. But I will take a look at that indicator, so thank you for that. And we'll read the last couple comments, and then we'll end this thing off. So, Silver says, on balance volume will show that fight. And Insomnia, regarding DWACW, you can sell warrants in the money and not go long on 620.28 repurchase agreement. Sundial shorts are holding. Great channel, good times, hold 82 resistance. Yeah, I'm hoping that they do. It looks like we're playing around there right now, so we'll see. We could get a big bounce up if they do. So that's what we've got for today. That was the stream. I enjoyed it today. It was probably one of the most successful streams, but hold up. We got another super chat. We'll read that before we end the stream. So if you had to predict, would you bet PHUN/DWAC Moon? It says M. Costanza 47. Would I bet that both of them moon, or would I choose between the two? I'd probably put my money, well, I have put my money on DWAC instead of PHUN. I have, if you look, I've got 150 shares right here that I bought at 24.18. And they're up about 5.6K over the life of that trade. So 540 on the day, thanks to the little pump we've gotten. So I am thinking that they will still go up, right? If I thought they were going down, then I would be selling, right? But I think that they'll be going up. So I am bullish on DWAC and PHUN as well, right? That's going to follow along with DWAC most likely. So I'm bullish on them both. I think if you had to predict, would you bet that they would moon? Yeah, I think that they certainly will. When Trump starts talking about them, I think that's when we'll see a lot of interest moving into these. So that's what I'm hoping for. So thank you guys for a very successful stream today. It was super fun. Looking forward to the next one on Monday. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But that's what we're ending with today. So other than that, have a great one. I'll see you guys. I'll probably make a video today, but I am kind of busy, so I'll probably make a video. But there is a lot to talk about. Granted, the markets have been going crazy today. So other than that, though, have a great weekend. I'll see you in the stream on Monday. Bye, guys.